given you all my sweetness. If you want it, I given you, I given you all my honey, baby. Girl, I didn't come for all your belonging. I just want a little honey to sing. My friend, this is very nice of you, but I think it would pose a problem. You know, I stand for a discipline, and I've got my own trying to defend. But still, she wouldn't take no for an answer. She tell me take the honey now and start to soak her. I've given you all my business. Take it or leave it. I've given you all my sweetness. Look if you want it. Make somebody dance, make somebody prance. Take my honey and kill somebody with music. Make somebody dance, make somebody prance. Take my honey and kill somebody with lyrics. I've given you all my sweetness. If you want it, I've given you all my honey, baby. Oh God, ding ding ding. Boy, me and you could organize big promo, but you just want to take me honey and go. It's good to try something new, my friend. You never know where you will get better. Boy, you don't know what you're missing, but you're turning down such a damn good offer. It's true, you have an image that you portray, but don't care what nobody say once you get your pay. I've given you all my business. Take it or leave it. I've given you all my sweetness. Look if you want it. Make somebody dance, make somebody prance. Take my honey and kill somebody with music. Make somebody dance, make somebody prance. Take my honey and kill somebody with lyrics. I've given you all my business. If you want it, I've given you all my honey, baby. I've given you, oh God. I've given you,
From the time you saw cassette play, party people, good God, you could stay ready. Well, it's mass. Hands up in the air, behaving bad. Good God, you go say that crazy. Well, it's fat. Music from a jammo, and we still want more music from the inspector. And they jumping higher, whoa, jump up, whoa, jump up, whoa, jump up, whoa, jump up. Say who are rule this dance? JAB, want them who are mash it down. All are we, hey, tell them who are rule this dance. JAB, want them who are mash it down. All are we, hey, get up and dance, get up and dance, get up and dance. Trinidad, St. Lucia, Grenada, right now even in Jamaica. Well, it's mass. still want more music from Squeezy and Moss. And they jumping higher, whoa, whoa, whoa. Jump up, whoa, whoa, whoa. Jump up, whoa, whoa, whoa. Jump up, whoa, whoa, whoa. Jump up. Who are rule this dance? JAP, want them who are mash it down. All are we, tell them who are rule this dance. JAP, want them who are mash it down. All are we, get up and dance. Get up and dance, get up and dance. Do the back way wine, do the front way wine, do the side way wine, do the wine, do the wine, do the wine, do the wine, wine. Do the back way wine, do the front way wine, do the side way wine, do the wine, do the wine, do the wine, do the wine. Like get something and behave. Boy, grab something and get up.
Good night to you, Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Once again, it is time for Talking Points. Yeah, we 1 hour earlier than normal tonight. I was just making sure we got the numbers up to where they need to be for us to begin tonight. Yeah, on that night, feel agreeing with that song. I like how that song in man. Nah. I think I'll try something along the line.
Who goes there?
Still one of my favorite independence tunes. Saying a special good night to those of you joining us on the live. Remember to like and share, call your friends, call your family, tell them Talking Points is on. Yeah, we're gonna go over that list tonight, huh? And that's why we started 1 hour early. We want to give you enough time, yeah? You all gave me the list, you know, yeah? You all have to tell me who you have on your list, nice? Yeah.
I could not believe I thought was carnival.
It's now 7 minutes after the hour of 7 o'clock on the Spice Isle of Grenada.
Just up in the red, yellow, and green down the instant. Whether or not they hand like it or not, everybody turn up.
Just 5 days away from our 50th anniversary of independence.
Wave your national color, wave your national flag. Let them know that.
For some people, they say it is actually our 47th anniversary of independence, yeah. Saying there a 3-year period there where the Constitution was suspended. And
Flag on the pole, flag on the street, flag on the table that day. Flag on
well, actually a 4-year period, so it should be the 46th, yeah.
flag and ceiling, flag and vehicle that passing. Ever conscious of God we aspire, just to rebuild Spice Island, Grenada. Despite the aid that we get from overseas, we have to work hard to fix it properly. Everyone who visit,
Good night to you, Zoe.
want to use us as a formula for the day.
Good night to you, Zayla.
Everybody didn't care about party, everybody cared about
Good night to you, Zalia.
bring on the part to signal unity.
Yeah, all you Muslim, yeah, my children, yeah.
Them know that Grenada,
That's all my little friends, yeah.
wave your national
Neela and Namara, good night to both of you.
Let them know that
Glad to see this Neela and Namara, right?
flag on the head, flag on the flag on the flag on the flag on the pole, flag on the street, flag on the table that day. Flag on the left, flag on the right, flag on the day, flag in the night, flag on the left, flag on ceiling, flag on vehicles that passing. Wave your national, wave your national. Let them know that you ever come to that point. Wave your national, wave your national. Let them know that you ever come to that point.
And let me say a special good night to those of you, let me see, who are on the YouTube. Vanessa Lalji, Alban Harris, Claude Abraham, Lona Lolo Williams, Kathleen Ledlow, Errol Bonaparte, Maria Marcel. I'm seeing Janice Mitchell, Deborah Laborde, Marilyn Ferguson, Sherma Jeremiah, Veronica Lewis, Baby Daddy's in the house, Faithlyn Halley Douglas, Eliza Bernard, Dominic Leroy. Dominic, what's up? Faithlyn Halley Douglas. I'm seeing Demetrius Joseph, good night. Agatha Batiste, good night to you. Barbara Henry, Christine Otley, Adrian, what's you, your lovely wife and home circle, good night. Good life, good night to you. Alice, I'm seeing you there, good night to you. Lucy Andrew, Jerome Kenneth Lewis, good night to you. Diego Humphrey, good night, bro. Ann Lewis, no, this is Ann Andrews I'm seeing here. Good night to you, Ann Andrews. Kathleen Knights, and Rosalind Robinson Fitzroy Philip, Minor Baptiste Fitzroy Philip. Good night to all of you. Let me see who is over on the Facebook. Hey, so I ain't opened the Facebook yet. I must open the Facebook. Folks, remember to like and share. You need to like and you need to share right now. Denise Fabrio, Kenrick Gibbs, Cynthia B, St. Peter Striker Lois, Ingrid Bourne, Yolan Mitchell Moraine, Cicely Celestine, Diana Romney. Good night to you, Sherms Houston, and Yvonne Courtney, good night. And Sunny I, Leslie James, and let me see, Ingrid Nelson. I see you, Nakisha Jones, Betty James, Errol Bonaparte, Sherry Lambert, Glenda Robinson. A special good night to each and every one of you. I hope that you all are having a fabulous night tonight and have a fabulous day today. Folks, remember it's taking place 6 a.m. in the morning. 3 activities taking place 6 a.m. in the morning, huh? So there's the turkey breakfast. No, it's not that they're only serving turkey, no. It is in aid of our brother Turkey. Nice? Yeah. Wayne Noel. That's going to be taking place at the New National Party constituency office in St. David, La Sagesse. Yeah, La Sagesse to be specific. So that's going to be starting at 6 a.m. tomorrow. Yeah, all kind of thing. I ain't even going over the list. You name it, they have it. They have all kind of thing there. Nice. All proceeds in aid of the dialysis and other medical concerns for brother Wayne. As you know, he lost his contract that he had. That's what he was using to keep himself alive. Eh? Yeah. It's like you pull out the life support on an individual when you do that kind of thing. So that's taking place tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. The women's arm of the St. David's constituency branch, they are doing that one. Also at 6 a.m. you have the St. George Northeast constituency branch. They are having their cake sale tomorrow. That's in front of Purcell's in town. Yeah, so you could check them out there tomorrow morning. So that's the St. George Northeast constituency branch. They've got their cake sale tomorrow starting at 6 a.m. It's in front of Purcell's in town on the market side. Yeah.
Nobody care about party, everybody care about country, so we have to bring on it.
Also, the next breakfast sale tomorrow morning is taking place in St. Patrick. West Coast. So that's taking place at the Sauters bus terminus, the St. Patrick branch of the New National Party, St. Patrick West branch. Yeah, they've got saltfish sauce and they have smoked herring, stewed turkey. Not done, they ain't stewing my friend turkey, but they have stewed turkey, roasted and fried bakes, and then they have cocoa tea, Tanya log. They have fruit juice and soda starting from 6 a.m. until. So that's taking place tomorrow at the Sauters bus terminal, the St. Patrick West branch of the New National Party. They're having that breakfast sale. Then from midday tomorrow, let me show you the St. Patrick branch thing, man. Yeah, I have to pull up the thing and show you. Yeah, that's St. Patrick branch. They're having that breakfast sale tomorrow. Nice. Yeah, they're having that breakfast tomorrow.
Make me feel a mot. To get it for Berry, she'll go down in the street. A patriotic period signaling unity. Everyone who went to the gala was a really national color. Just they want the world to remember this is Grenada. Cause we are a resilient people. We are accustomed going through struggle. So we do the thing that we have to make our dream come true. Wave your national color. Wave your national flag.
Yes, indeed. And the NNP St. Andrew Northeast constituency branch, they've got their oil down fun and games. That's taking place in Pearls by the Old Plain tomorrow from 12 p.m. Nice, yeah, for 12 noon. So that's starting at 12 noon tomorrow. I was saying 11 yesterday, but it starts at 12, yeah? If you want to go 11 man lime around until the start is up to you, you could help put up 10 something. So they're going to be having various games and so drinks on sale and so oil down on sale. Nice, yeah, it's going to be nice. I think they have drag racing going on up in Pearls tomorrow as well. So you could just head over by the Old Plain and you could get your lunch and so while you're up there. And then folks, finally remember next week there is Breadfruit Fest. That's going to be taking place up there in St. Mark. Breadfruit Fest is on next week, Friday.
Flag and ceiling, flag and vehicle that passing. Ever conscious of God we aspire. Just to rebuild Spice Island, Grenada. Despite the aid that we get from overseas, we have to walk.
So remember the Breadfruit Fest, the Sunset City Breadfruit Fest. That's going to be taking place at the Victoria Basketball Court from 11 a.m. next week, Friday.
So we have to bring on the power to signal unity.
Roasted breadfruit, breadfruit puff, seasoned baked breadfruit, garlic sauteed breadfruit, spicy seasoned breadfruit, oil down and breadfruit drinks. Yes, breadfruit drinks. You have breadfruit punch and thing. Nice. They're having dish competition, so who could cook the best breadfruit dish, and so they're having prizes, they're having giveaways. You're going to see the ladies who have been making their confectionery, etc. All of that is going to be on display. They'll also have a donation box for our good brother Wayne Noel Turkey. They'll be having a donation box. For those of you that can't make it down to the breakfast tomorrow, they will be having a donation box so that you all can donate at Breadfruit Fest. Yeah, they'll be having that there. And remember, Nexa Credit Union, if you want to donate to brother Wayne, yeah, you can also do that at the Nexa Credit Union. The number, the account number 211093. That's 211093.
A patriotic period signaling unity. Everyone who went to the gala was wearing the national color. Guess they want the world to remember this is Grenada. Cause we are a resilient people. We are accustomed going through struggle. So we do the thing that we have to make our dream come true. Wave your national color.
Good night to you, Sandra.
Let them know that Grenada ever conscious of God. Wave your national color. Wave your national flag. Let them know that Grenada ever conscious of God. Wave your national color. Wave your national color. Let them know that Grenada ever.
And folks, we're not going to stick here. We're opening the phone lines.
Wave your national flag. Let them know that Grenada ever.
Let's hear your list of who the 50 people. Yeah, we're trying to compile a list tonight. So we're taking your calls and so on. We're adding people to the list and so. And let's see if we can get to a list of 50 people that you believe should be recognized as the most prominent Grenadians. The people who, in your belief, have contributed the most to the development of Grenada between 1974 and 2024. And let me make that specific again. We're speaking of between 1974 and 2024. Right? Because you might end up hearing some people saying TMR should know that was prior to 1974. Yeah, they might say FEDOT, no, that was prior to 1974. Right? So 1974 to 2024, 50 years, I'm pretty sure we could at least name, at least we can name 50 prominent Grenadians who should have been recognized during the 50th independence celebrations. And not just on the day itself, but these are people who we believe should have been recognized from the beginning, yeah?
Yeah, he's all away, as I to say. Let me tell you.
And folks, remember the Sahara dust is out there. Those of you that need to get, especially those of you that just coming onto the island, and so if you have respiratory problems, like you need to have your Becotide and your Ventolin and those different, make sure you have it, You realize the voice kind of grady? Yeah. That's so much Sahara dust down here. Some people say they see a camel pass.
The Conception Island, all the borderland Grenada, we call it Grenada. That's the name we truly prefer. Together we'll build a spire.
So yeah, let me hear from you all. Let me hear from you all exactly who you believe. Because in my belief, I have people that in my mind, I believe should be on such a list. And let me say this. I am not of the belief that the list is only supposed to be populated with politicians. Yeah? I'm not of that belief. If I am doing a top 50 list, there are politicians that would definitely make my list. You all know for sure that at least three, maybe 4 prime ministers in my view would make my top 50 list. Definitely Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell. Definitely former Prime Minister Maurice Bishop. Definitely late Prime Minister Eric Gary. That these 3 would make my list. And I believe I'd also add to that list possibly George Horatio Brazan within the top 50. Yeah? So, and there are specific reasons. In my view, Sir Eric Matthew Gary, we've done 2 programs where we spoke extensively. And I say we because I wasn't doing the talking. You all were doing the talking in relation to what Sir Eric Matthew Gary did for Grenada. Yeah? Definitely, I believe he would make that list as the person who secured independence for Grenada. Yeah? I think we have a caller online. Hello, good night.
Hey, good night, Brother Sheldon.
Good night. Yes, go right ahead.
Tonight.
Yes, go right ahead.
Yeah, Brother Sheldon, on that list for sport, I have Kirani James for sports, for giving Grenada the first gold medal in the Olympic and the world champion, and both silver and bronze in the Olympic and world champion. I have Kirani James as one of the persons to make it 50. And I also have cricketers, Gina Murray, Devon Smith, and Ral Lewis. They play for West Indies, and they did wonderful. I have them on that list too, Sheldon, for cricket. Right, so that's my 2. But you mentioned some of them already. That is well known already. And I the 4 person I have on the list.
All right.
Prime Ministers.
Okay. All right, thank you. 440-7377. That's 440-7377. And I was saying, yeah, I would say so. Eric Matthew Gary, and there's this thing out there that independence. So Eric Matthew Gary just go. No, you see, if it was so, all the other people within. Good night to you, Abraham Pope. All the other countries within the OECS. If independence was just handing out lap and cut and it was an easy process, they would have gotten it at the same time. But you realize some of them is in the early 1980s that they got independence and that sort of thing. Right? Also, remember that he was meeting severe pushback from various elements of the Grenadian society that did not agree for independence under Sir Eric Matthew Gary. Yeah? So let's take a look at it. I'm seeing one of my good friends here is saying the Honorable Dr. Keith Mitchell, Mr. Victor Ashby, and I think one caller last night spoke of Mr. Ashby and some of his achievements and so on. Mrs. Glenda Mason Francis. In my top 50, Miss Glenda Mason Francis as an educator. Yeah. I can see it. Yeah, I could see Miss Glenda Mason Francis making a top 50 as an educator. Yeah, the molder of young minds who have now gone on to some very, very great things, both in and out of the region. Yeah, and Miss Vyra McQueen. I don't know much about Miss Vyra McQueen, so some of you will have to tell me about Miss Vyra McQueen. Yeah, so some of you will have to tell me about her. Let me see. Yes, we have a caller coming in on the WhatsApp. Let's take the WhatsApp call and see what this caller has to say. Yeah, let me hear what this caller has to say on the WhatsApp. Hello, good night.
Good night, bro.
Hi, good night.
Yeah, I'm going to just add 2 to the list. One of them I can't remember his full name, but I'd like to add Inspector ASP Belma.
ASP Belma.
For his, yes.
That's prior to independence or after independence?
Is during the independence, from
independence,
because
we're looking from 1974, eh?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
He was taken out in 1778.
Okay.
So he was part of the independence.
Okay.
Yeah, he was part of it. And then we're looking at Lacrette. We call him Daddy Seppi. I can't remember his first name. The groundsman for Queen's Park. Keep the best grounds in the Caribbean for cricket. I can't remember his first name, but yeah, Lacrette, River Road. Yeah. All right.
All right, my brother. Thank you so very much for your contribution.
Okay, love it. All right.
All right. So, yeah, Lacret, the gentleman who used to be the groundsman. And let me say this too. In a lot of instances, sometimes we think of people who are worthy of recognition as only the people who are up there. But sometimes it may have been a person who was carrying out a duty very quietly, but it impacted the lives of a significant number of people. Yeah? So we're hearing about Mr. Lacret, and one of you might be able to call and give his first name, Mr. Lacret. Yeah? I'm not saying no to anything, I'm listening, but I'm saying I have to get reasonings. Belma, I'm not too sure that I would agree. I think there are a lot of people. I think I could find 49 people to put on that list before, maybe in a top 100 or something. So I might not agree. And don't expect me to agree with everything. I'm listening. I'm taking note. But in some instances, if I think I could find 49 people to put before them, I definitely say so. Kirani James, definitely. The caller said Mr. Junior Murray, definitely. I would say Mr. Junior Murray, and Mr. Junior Murray because, one, I was speaking with a friend of mine and they were mentioning in a lot of instances, people didn't expect a Grenadian to make it onto the West Indies cricket team. So when that happened, it was such an amazing feat that Grenadians all over were so proud of Junior Randolph Murray for making it onto the West Indies cricket team. All right? So definitely as an inspiration, because it is because of him opening that door that you had the Devon Smith and the Neilon Pascals and the Raw Lewis and all of these people coming through. Yeah, he opened the door that all of them could get a little slip through. Nice. So yeah, Junior Murray, we've got a caller online. Hello, good night.
Hello, good night.
Hi, good night, caller. You're live. Go right ahead.
Yeah. My heroes are Sir Eric Machagiri.
Mm-hmm.
Because one is when Eric Carey returned from Aruba, for struggling for workers in Aruba, he was deported from Aruba. He came to Grenada and he struggled for the Grenadian workers. And he got our independence.
Mm-hmm.
So that is just one of the reasons I have Sir Eric Machagiri. Morris Bishop. Hello?
Yes, I'm listening. You go
yes,
ahead.
Morris Bishop. I mean, directly, I have Morris Bishop as one, but there are circumstances to me that kind of disqualify Morris Bishop from really being there. Because he didn't take the country in a legitimate way. He took it through a revolution. So that kind of disqualifies him. And I have Dr. Kit Mitchell. Because, I mean, Grenadians that went away and come back, when they came back to a new Grenada. I mean, we didn't have electricity, all about had electricity and other things. Bus terminal, Grenada was changed completely. And Junior Murray, being one of the first cricketers to make the West Indies cricket team. And another name is Chester Humphrey. He was a standout trade unionist. I mean, let's give Jack his jacket.
And not just locally, yeah?
Unionists
Not just locally.
Chester Humphrey during the late 70s, early 80s. In spite of what happened, Chester Humphrey was a standout man. So that's my matters so far.
All right, my brother. Thank you. And I find it difficult to... I find it extremely difficult to be able to say no to any of the names that you have mentioned. If I'm speaking of who I'll probably say who my number one is a little later on. And I'd give the reasoning why I say who is my number one. And I'm seeing here the name Victor Ashby. It have a lot of GBSS boys listening tonight program, boy. The name Victor Ashby keeps being sent in, both by males and females. I may add. So I keep seeing the name Victor Ashby coming in. All right, yeah, I keep seeing the name Victor Ashby coming in. So I would definitely say yes, definitely. And let me see some of the other things, and it's coming in so fast and furious. Aline Francique, yes. Aline Francique in the field of sports, yes. Donald Pierre, can someone tell me for Mr. Donald Pierre, when was he active? Was he active before or after independence? And that's the thing, we just want to make sure we're speaking of people for the last 50 years here. I don't know. So it's why I'm asking questions. And I think that there may be many, many people who are listening tonight that also may not be aware. So they're trying to learn for themselves. So, Mr. Donald Pierre, yeah? As I said too, when you're telling me, all you have to give me a little background to it. I'm seeing the name Timothy Antoine here. Yeah, Timothy Antoine, the governor of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank. Yes, I'll have him under consideration there. His mom, as an educator, the late Mrs. Ursula Antoine. Yes, I'll have her under consideration too. Let's go to the phone lines. Hello, good night.
Yeah, hello, Sheldon. Good night. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm quite fine. You go right ahead, my brother.
Yes, my brother. I want to just add my 2 cents.
Mm-hmm.
I want to stress on culture.
Mm-hmm.
And I want 2 persons I would love to see on that list, which barely talked about. One by the name Shirley Robinson
Mm-hmm.
from St. Patrick,
Mm-hmm.
who was a master in culture and also an educator because she'd been a teacher
Mm-hmm.
for a number of years. And leading in within her footsteps, a gentleman from River Sally by the name of Crofton Maguire. I hear a lot of culture talk, I hear what Tanti Tech and blah, 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 but I never heard that gentleman name mentioned, Crofton Maguire. He used to be the principal of the River Sally Government School and was a master in culture. He used to put on a lot of mass bands and everything. For that matter, Sheldon, the folk songs, many of the folk songs that we sing today in Grenada, that most of the culture groups rendered, comes from that gentleman, Crofton Maguire. I want you to look into that.
So you're saying that most of the songs that they're singing, Mr. Crofton Maguire had a lot to do with that?
Say that again?
No, you're saying most of the you were just saying that most of the songs that the folk groups and so are doing, Mr. Crofton Maguire had a lot to do with those.
Has a lot to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
He wrote quite a few folk songs. He was very instrumental in culture. For that matter, he would have spread his wings in culture to many different villages apart from River Sally.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that much people in his time may tonight testify to that. And I barely hear his name in culture over the years.
Mm. Because it's first time I'm actually coming across that name myself.
Yes.
And this is what this exercise is about, recognizing people like him that we may have forgotten.
Crofton Maguire, well, for that matter, that soul gentleman, Lazarus Antoine,
the mass man,
that puts out all these mass bands,
mm-hmm.
sprang in the footsteps of Crofton Maguire.
Mm-hmm.
And I sure maybe one of our listeners might testify to that.
Okay. All right,
Gilbert,
thank you. Yeah? You
I'll
are
listen in the program.
Okay, great. Thank you so very
Thank
much,
you.
caller.
Yeah.
Yeah, that caller educate me there because I didn't know much about Mr. I never heard the name before, really. Miss Shirley Robinson, when I was taking part in the Festival of the Arts in the early 1990s is when I first met Miss Robinson, if I'm remembering the right person correctly. Yeah, Miss Robinson in Festival of the Arts. And so there's another person that was there, and I'm trying to remember her name, that used to be directly involved, that Tickish lady that used to be there as well. And I'm trying to remember her name, and for the life of me it won't, but she was very active in the Festival of the Arts back in those days in organizing and everything. I'm seeing the name here, Mr. Hudson Macphail, in Education and Trade Unionism. Yes, yeah. In culture, I'm seeing Ajamo. And also in culture, I'm seeing Derek Clouden. Yeah. You all have to give me, don't just give me the names, you know. You all have to qualify all you're talking about. All you have to qualify it, you know. Yeah. You all have to qualify the thing. All you afraid to call me? Yeah, call and qualify the thing. Right? I'm seeing someone saying Jackie Creft. In the top 50 or the top 100? Yeah? In the top 50 or the top 100? Yeah? Let me hear. Looking at the top 50, some people I may put in a top 100, but not necessarily in a top 50. Maurice Bishop, he had local and he had regional and international reach, especially at that point in time. Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, local, regional, international. Yeah? I could throw spokes in the wheel, you know. Let me see. I could say somebody from the Revolution. I could say Bernard Cord. And I know a lot of people going to say no. A lot of people going to say no. They're going to say that there is one thing that bars him from being in a top 50. But remember, he wrote several books and different things like that on Grenada and history and education and different things like that. He is a good economist and so on. But then a lot of people would say definitely no. Yeah? But that's just me throwing a spokes in the wheel. I ain't saying in a top 50, yeah? That's just me throwing a spokes in the wheel. All right. Someone is saying Fatty Derrick. Yes, I remember Mr. Derrick. Yeah. Fatty Derrick in culture. Ashley Ram Folks. Ashley Ram Folks. Qualify it. Don't just tell me the names. Qualify them. Tell me why. Tell me what area were they in and qualify it for me. So Ashley Ram Folks, let me go over. I haven't checked on the YouTube to see the, let me see, L.A. Purser. L.A. Purser pre-existed, or is it after? Yeah, after the independence he did, yeah. So, okay, so we're pretty sure on the following. So Eric Matthew Gary, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, we're pretty sure on, let me see who else again, Maurice Bishop, Kirani James, Junior Murray. All right, we sure on them. I keep seeing the name, Mr. Yes, somebody saying Fatty Derrick and yeah, somebody saying Fatty Derrick and Ashley Ram Folks. Yes. All right, so yeah, call and say why. Yeah, let me know. Oh, sorry, I didn't clear the phone line. I'm sorry. And for those of you outside of Grenada, 347-329-3101. And those of you locally, 440-7377. You can also call us on WhatsApp on that number, 440-7377. Yeah? I'm seeing Mr. Trevor Modest for both law enforcement and sports. Now, in relation to Trevor Modest, I know he held the record in the javelin for Grenada until it was broken by Anderson Peters. Yeah, so I know for many years, over a decade or more, he held the javelin record for Grenada. And in law enforcement, okay, let's see, I would say Anderson Peters as well. In the top 50, I would say Anderson Peters as world championship. It was something that a lot of people didn't expect. A lot of people probably didn't expect Anderson Peters to do what he did. Yeah, and he was able to secure victory in the world championship, become the world champion and that sort of thing. So definitely, yeah, Anderson Peters. All right. 440-7377. That's the number for you to call and get on to the inside. And we have a caller. Hello, good night.
Sheldon, for Mr.
Okay,
Folks.
And you know you had the opportunity.
Yeah, no, I just said why. I think he was a football coach. I remember 1989 when the Grenada played Trinidad in the football cup final, where Grenada lost 2-1. They were in Kelly Jackson to fix the football boot, and the Grenada and Trinidad ended up going to score a goal and they win again 2-1. I think for coaching football.
Okay. All right. Great. Thanks. 440-7377. That's the number for you to call and get on the inside. And 347-329-3101. Folks, remember to like and share. All of you that on the YouTube, like right now. So if you like, it's supposed to go over 300 likes right now on the YouTube. Those of you on the Facebook, yeah, like and share. Like and share. Those of you that are on the Facebook right now, those of you that are on the YouTube, like and share. I'm seeing the name of Jamu, I'm seeing Wizard, I'm seeing Randy Isaac. Yeah. I'm seeing Alistair Hughes. Yeah. Folks, again, I'm saying don't just give me the names. Give me the reason why you believe that these people should be in a top 50. Let me say this. I believe if we're looking at a top 50 list, we're not just looking at people that were popular at a point in time, but we also have to look at their impact nationally. What they have done that has contributed to the development of Grenada, yeah, or the preservation of our culture, or inspirational, what they have done that falls along that line. Not just as that is somebody that we like or somebody that we've heard their name, but has that person done something that generations from now will be able to benefit from? Yeah. So we have a caller online. Hello, good night. Hello.
Yeah, good night, Sheldon.
Hi.
I am calling from
You're
Yes.
you're breaking
Hello?
up. Go ahead.
I was thinking about the First Lady Governor, Dame Hilda Baino. She goes through a lot of struggles in the same thing as the First Lady Governor in the Caribbean. I was thinking about she should be a hero.
But she predated she predated independence.
Yes.
If I'm remembering correctly. But we're saying specifically we're dealing with people between independence and now. So while yes, you could recognize her as a Grenadian who has done something amazing, for the list of 50 she wouldn't qualify because she is before independence. But I believe that she must be recognized as well.
Yeah.
Yeah? All right, my dear. Thank you so very much. All right. Yeah, so Dame Hilda Baino, yes, but not for this particular list, because we're speaking of people here who have contributed significantly since. Yeah? So you hear of coaches, and so what about Kirani's coach, Coach Albert? Folks, remember, when we're thinking of people here, you have 50 spaces, and you may in your mind say that some people are more deserving than others. So let's hear. Hello, good night.
Good night, Mr. Scott.
Hi, good night. How are you doing?
I am doing good. How are you, sir?
I'm good. Yes, you go right ahead, though. You're live. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, you're live. You go right ahead.
I have two names in mind here.
Mm-hmm.
I have one, Mr. Ben Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Ben Jones in the area of politics, even up to now, has been one of our best debaters in the House of Parliament. He was very articulate. He was very, very good. And I think persons related to someone also in agriculture. He was also a very ardent farmer, one who owned a lot of lands and so on, worked very hard. And especially in politics, I believe he was one of the best debaters where definitely he would have left his mark in the field of politics. I also have another name, in terms of culture. She has been one of the persons in the culture in terms of folk singers that we have had in this country for a number of years. So those are the two persons. I mean, there is many more I can think about, but for now, those are the two persons they have in mind. Thank you.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
We didn't hear the person you spoke of in culture. You kind of drop off when you was mentioning that name. I haven't heard you. Hello? I don't know why it is that every time they're saying that name, we're not hearing them. Oh boy, caller, you might have to hang up and call back because I'm not hearing the name. Yeah. I don't know if it's on my end, and I'm seeing one problem here. Yes, so I don't know if it's on my end or if it's on their end, but I wasn't hearing the call very clear. When it came to culture, the culture part of it. Hello, good night.
Yes, are you hearing me now?
Yes, go right ahead.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was saying the person in culture is Miss Lauren Ramdani.
Oh, Miss Ramdani, yeah. Mm.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, Miss Lorraine Ramdani, again, another person I know from the Festival of the Arts during the 1990s and coming forward and so on, and still one of the people that are there involved in the arts all these decades later. Yeah. So Miss Lorraine Ramdani. All right. Yeah, folks, give me some names, man. Tell me. Give me a call. Let me know some of the people that you believe ought to, at this point in time, have been recognized. Someone is saying here, Kurt Felix, as the first Grenadian decathlete to qualify for the Olympics and to win Pan Am and Commonwealth medals in the sport. He also plays, because he's still active, a very active role with helping young people who want to further their development in sports. Yeah? So we're hearing the name now, Kurt Felix. And Kurt Felix under the area of sports. Yeah, so we heard under sports so far, we've heard Karani James, Anderson Peters, Kurt Felix. We've heard Devon Smith. We've heard Junior Murray. Yeah, we've heard all those names under sports thus far. Under politics, we've heard Dr. Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, Maurice Bishop. We've heard as well, let me see what the other names are. We've heard Ben Jones, yeah, as one of the names that we've had there as well. All right, folks, I'm seeing Nadia Benjamin. All right, yes, Nadia Benjamin, Mrs. Benjamin. I'm seeing Sister Gabriel Mason. So, folks, remember, one of the things here is that there may be young folks who are listening to this program who may hear the names but not know who these people are or the contribution that they have made, which is why I think it's very important to call and say what the person has contributed. Yeah? Don't just give me the names, but call. I may know, I may know or think that I know, but it's very important to call and give a little insight into why that person or why not that person or why the other person or so. Yeah? So someone is saying in the media, Andre Donald. Yeah? No, don't Sheldon Scott not in that. I off that list too. I not even in the top 500. I nowhere near inside it. I'm not even in the top 1,000. Yeah? Nah, I'm nowhere inside that. We have a caller online. Hello, good night.
Good night.
Good night, my dear.
I want to Mr. Elvin G. Nimrod, the late, in terms of Carriacou and Pity Martinique development. He has been, I would say, in my opinion, that we had 2 prime ministers from Carriacou, born and bred, and Mr. Nimrod would have done so much more for Carriacou and Pity Martinique in comparison to the 2 prime ministers that we would have had. That's my contribution.
Thank you so very much. And Carriacou, we need to hear you all a little more too, Yeah, let's hear, because I'm sure that there are more than one person out of Carriacou that you all believe should qualify for such a list. We have a caller online. Good night. Hello.
Good night, Sheldon.
Hi, good night.
And good night to your listeners. Yeah, one I would like to speak of is Kenneth Tiloti Hood of River Road. He was a panist, yeah? He's one that is responsible for the funding Pan Wizard. Michael Blaze Robert would have learned under him. David Peck Edwards learned under him. A lot of the panists in Grenada would have learned under him. There was a barn house in Tempe. That's where, when they're taking the rungs about, you see that there's an abandoned building there. That was one of the panels that have had that the guys did a lot of jamming. They would have played for tourists in the tourist boat and so. And he have also done with a team captain in the band in doing a world tour. I think this was on a cruise ship. They did a cruise ship. They got hired to do what they call a world tour then. And it was all led by the captain of the band then, Kenneth Tiloti Hood. He's a serious fan. As a matter of fact, in Trinidad, He's more of a hero in Trinidad than Grenada. You go to Trinidad and you start speaking about Kenneth and Kiloti, and then all those guys want to hear everything you have to say about him. So he's one I do believe should be recognized as one of the heroes for his sterling contribution in the area of Pan in this country.
Okay, thank you so very much, my brother. All right. And folks, that's what we're looking for. You ain't just calling and say them, you're giving your reason why that person. So, hello, good night.
Mr. Scott.
Good night, sir.
Good night, Mr. Scott.
Yes, sir.
Sir Paul Schoon.
Yes, Sir Paul Schoon. Mm-hmm. And why Sir Paul Schoon?
Why? One of the best GG to ever pass through Grenada.
Mm-hmm.
He's a stalwart.
Mm-hmm. And if I'm speaking of Paul Schoon, and in my own view, I would say for the role that he played at the time of the invasion, intervention, and so on, the period between that and the general elections in 1984. And also he was
That's
the longest
correct.
serving governor general. But while some people would say yes, there's some people that would say definitely no,
Well, you see, your fingers and your hand is not all the same size and length,
Because there are some people that would say definitely they do not believe Sir Eric belongs on the list. There are some that say, and I'm getting the messages there, some would say they do not agree with Maurice Bishop being on the list. Especially if they were a person that was imprisoned under the revolution, they don't believe Maurice should be on the list. There are people who may feel they were slighted by Sir Eric Matthew Gary. They don't believe he should be on the list. But Sir Paul Schoon, I would say Sir Paul Schoon, yes, I would definitely say he makes the top 50. Yeah?
All right, then.
I agree with you. I agree with you. Thank you very much, my brother. Yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
And we have a call online. Hello, good night.
Good night, Mr. Sheldon.
Hi, good night.
I think we should remember Miss Ova Batiste. She was the principal of Woburn Methodist School.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's she that wrote the national anthem.
Okay. So Miss Ova Batiste in education and as the person who wrote the national anthem.
Yes, I think.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so very much, caller.
You're welcome.
All right. So, folks, we have one person, Miss Ova Batiste. And if any of the information coming out is wrong, well, you're supposed to correct us, Yeah, because sometimes we might think we know and we don't know. I'm seeing a set of names coming in relation to journalism right now. So I'm seeing the name. Oh, somebody is saying here, before I go to the journalism part, they're saying Trevor Modest is the best forensic expert in Grenada. And I do remember several cases over the years being cracked by the work of Trevor Modest as a police officer, outside of him having held the javelin record for Grenada. So as one of the people in the top 50, yeah, a possibility there, he might get a little blind inside it. Nice. Donald Pierre, long distance runner. But somebody would have to call and tell me about Mr. Donald Pierre because I don't know. And it is important. And I keep saying the oral history. In the African countries, they have the oral history where the elders would give the oral history, the griots, and so pass it on to the other generation, who would then pass it on to the other, who would then pass it on to the other. Which is why we're going through this right now, that we need to be able to pass on why the people that we have mentioned. Yes, so in the field of journalism, I'm seeing here Trevor Thwaites in journalism and boxing. Squares, Rainbow City All Stars, that's Steel Pan. I don't know much about the individual. Somebody would have to call and tell me. Yeah, somebody sent that over Merle Batista again, right? Adrian Spaceman Mitchell, and quite a lot was said recently at his funeral. And I'm seeing here Jerry Malcolm in journalism. We have a caller online. Good night.
Yeah, good night. Tonight I want to remember Paul Roberts. He's the owner of 91.1 FM.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me tell you, Paul Roberts was a goalkeeper. And he used to save goal for Autumn. And this guy, he's the best goalie I've ever seen in my life. I'm in my 70s now. And all the football idols look at in the whole world and never see that anybody like that guy. Now that guy used to, a man hit a shot to him, he go into left and the ball serve to the right. He will come back to the right and take that ball. I know one year Grenada went and played in St. Lucia and his father told him he couldn't go. Well, Grenada make the finals. And a delegation had to go to his father for him to go. A whole footballing delegation have to go. And he could have made it on a big stage. But his father kept him back until he opened that radio station. In those days, we call him Paul Ben because his father was Ben Roberts. You know. But he's Paul Roberts, owner of 91.9 FM. Thanks.
All right, thank you. So, Paul Roberts, how impactful, and this is, I'm not disqualifying anyone here, I'm just asking questions here. How impactful on the national level and even possibly regional level or international level are some of the names that we are calling, or are they just localized? I'm seeing some names calling here again. I'm seeing in culture, James Clarkson. Yeah? James Clarkson in the field of culture, not even in police, in culture. I'm seeing the name James Clarkson. Yeah? So, but you had to qualify the thing. So it's yes, James Clarkson. But you had to call and tell me why James Clarkson. All right? Trevor Emmanuel for steel pan and culture. And he was also a great teacher. All right, so I'm seeing that name as well, Trevor Emmanuel. It is not a name that is unfamiliar to me. I have seen that name several times before. I believe I interacted with that individual when they were alive as well. Someone had a purpose here. I'm seeing Donald Pierre in sports, Jerry Romaine. Yeah, Jerry Romaine in the field of media. And I could say I am one of the products of Jerry Romaine. Yeah, I'm one of the products. The first person who gave me a course, taught me on a course in media was Mr. Jerry Romaine. He himself can't even remember. Yeah, so posthumously, Leslie Pierre, Leslie Sion, and let me see, Gloria Payne Banfield, civil service. And this individual is also saying Angel Harps as a pan institution. Yeah, as an institution itself. But let's look at the individuals. We're going to look at the institutions after. So we're going to put Angel Harps on aside for along with Rainbow City and them as an institution after. 4407377. That's the number for you to call on the inside. And no, I'm not disagreeing with anybody. I am making note of all the names that we are receiving here tonight. All the names that we're receiving. Hello, good night.
Sheldon, good night. The person that designed the flag, I can't remember the person's name.
Oh boy, and I know him, I've met him personally, I've spoken with him, but for some reason his name is eluding me at this point in time. And there's a street named after him in St. Andrew, I believe in Sobeys or Marquis. Oh boy, his name is eluding me, but I'll remember it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we'll have that one for consideration. All right, great. Thank you so very much.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the person who designed the national flag. Let's go to the phone line. Hello, good night. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, good night.
Good night.
Yes, ma'am. Go right ahead. You're live.
Sheldon, Dr. Mitchell for transforming Grenada. Of course, for Eric Machukiri, the father of independence. Jennifer Hostin Craig, Miss Wall.
Well, Jennifer Hostin predated independence.
She predated, okay.
Yeah.
In journalism, Mr. Lou Smith.
Uncle Lou, classic Lou and you in the morning.
Brother Lou, how do you do?
Yes.
Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, these are some of the names that I want to contribute.
All right. Thank you so very much, my dear.
You're welcome.
All right. So classic Lou and you in the morning. I just was sent the name Luis Masanto for the music for the anthem. So while Miss Eva Batiste did the words, Luis Masanto for the music. The designer of the flag, Anthony George. Yes, Mr. Anthony George, the designer of the flag. Seeing Jerry Malcolm again. So folks, I have to be checking between WhatsApp and Facebook and YouTube. So don't think I'm forgetting anybody. Someone here is saying Mr. Killer. Yeah? So if you're speaking of some of the artists and so, Mr. Killer, I'm seeing Bonnie Wilson in boxing, Sabrina in culture. Would they make it into a top 50? Yeah? Mr. Killer, impact locally, regionally, internationally. Yeah? Does Sabrina have the same thing to get to the same level? I'm not saying she does or she doesn't. You all have to tell me. You have to qualify it. We have a caller online. Good night.
Yes, good night. Is that Mr. Sheldon?
Yes, this is Sheldon.
Yes, Sheldon, I have a couple names here.
Go ahead.
Number one, Mr. Ashton George, alias Heads or the Tank from Victoria St. Max.
I heard that name before.
He is one of the greatest footballers
Ashton
that ever passed.
Ashton or Alston?
Alston, sorry.
Alston, yeah.
He's one of the greatest footballer ever graced the country, and also cricketer. He was a spinner. He was the best back with big dog, fellas like Big Dog and them. He made it to the international, to Windward and Leeward Islands on both cricket and football. For all the years he's been playing the game. He's still alive. He's at Victoria. That's one.
Go ahead.
The other one is a lady from Victoria St. Max called Clarice Modest Cohen. Politics and in the medical field. She has, since she went into politics, she has never lost a seat. She did many good things, especially in Victoria, during her stint as a politician, and still there. There are others which I too numerous to mention. Thirdly, Commissioner of Police Elvin or Edwin Martin in the field of security. As the Commissioner of Police, you know what he's doing now. He went on to the, I can't remember, but in the field of security, the area he's in now. Maybe I could get help in that.
Well, he's Commissioner of Police just in another country now.
Yes. So there's three people. Thank you.
All right, lovely. So we have the names entering now, Alston George, Dr. Clarice Modest, and we also have Mr. Edwin Martin, his name entering into the listing now. All right, and I think we've got a caller on the WhatsApp. And let me see, I'm seeing Dr. Francis Alexis in law and in politics. Yeah, we can discuss that one. We have a call online. Good night.
Hi, Sheldon. As I call back again, is Anthony C. George.
Anthony C. George,
for designing the flag.
Yes. All right. Thank you so very much, my dear.
All right.
Okay, great. Wonderful. Yes, so Anthony C. George as the person who designed the flag. I remember, Mr. George. I met him. And more than once as well. He was recognized at Independence a number of years ago. We do have a call online. Good night.
Good night, Sheldon.
Hi, good night. Go right ahead, caller. Go right ahead.
Yeah, I'm calling respect to Mrs. Vida Bruno Victor. Towards sports. Yeah.
As a sports administrator and a sportswoman.
She teach a lot of young children to play netball and everything. She sacrificed and yeah, she's supposed to be young for the sports.
Okay.
Vida. All right.
All right. Thank you. So Vida Victor Bruno, and she's involved with sports admin, and as a teacher as well. Former permanent secretary, various ministries from agriculture to youth and sport to works, public utilities. I think she pretty much probably spent time as a permanent secretary in maybe every ministry. Last night, Cammy gave a name as well, Miss Pamela Steele. Yeah, I ain't too sure if Cammy reach home yet. She go reach home just now. But Miss Pamela Steele definitely has to be taken into consideration. We have a caller online. Good night.
Good night, Sheldon.
Good night, sir.
In sports, Sheldon, Donald Pierre.
Well, tell me about Donald Pierre. People keep saying Donald Pierre, but I don't know. And there are many young people listening who don't know.
You know, at the time, Donald Pierre was the hero, man. If it wasn't Donald Pierre, there would never be a Q&E James. He's from Guelph.
Mm-hmm.
You understand me? Yeah, he was living in the road, right beside Humbad Bridge, just over there.
Mm-hmm.
And Donald Pierre, he was the hero. Right?
Okay.
We must never forget. And in sports again, remember that man, Roy St. John, the man who dumped the whole Atlanta team.
No, so he
Don't
helped
never
create
forget
that.
that man. And he started dumping by the tunnel first.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me
He's
ask.
the man who started dumping all the stone to bag the sea.
Did he predate? Did he predate
he was
independence, or that's after independence?
Yeah, he was a minister of government. But he used to be the man in sports when I used to play for Grenada. You understand? And I hope they don't forget his name.
Mm-hmm.
Very important.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, my brother.
All right, bro.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, indeed. Let me see. I'm seeing some names here that I am unaware of. And I think who given me them names better pick up the phone and call. I'm seeing Pansy Rowley. I don't know. And folks that are as young as me or younger may not know. So you have to call and tell us. Evelyn Ross. That's a name that I do know, but I would not know the story of Mr. Evelyn Ross as an entrepreneur. John Darbo. Yeah. I have no idea. Yeah. So all you have to call and tell me. Give me the reason. Hello. Good night.
Hello?
Yes, good night.
Yes. Sheldon, Jericho.
Anthony Jericho Greenwich.
Anthony Greenwich.
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
Yes, we're hearing you. Mm-hmm.
You hearing me?
Yes, we heard you, yeah.
Yeah. And Ashley Church. For trade union thing. He was handling the workers for the Grenada Manual and Mental Union. And Anthony Jericho Greenwich, he had first opened that program at the WFM station.
Mm-hmm. But outside of that, do you think that he has done enough to warrant him being in the top?
Hello?
Okay, well, I'll say it when you're off air. Yeah, I'll say it off air.
No problem. That.
Yeah, so that's why I'll say it off air. Now, I was saying, do we see... Anyway, let me take this call first. Yeah. We have a caller. Hello, good night. Hello, good night, caller. Hi, good night. Go right ahead, caller.
Good night.
Yes, go ahead.
I'm calling on the behalf of Mr. Anthony Boson.
Mm-hmm.
He was a real helper to St. Patrick West up here.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a real man, and he was in politics.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a minister of finance and all things for politics. So that's why I call him Mr. Anthony Boson.
Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you so very much, my dear. All right.
Hello,
So,
good night.
yes, we heard you. We got it. All right, yeah. So Anthony Boson, in the field of politics, nice. I'm seeing Elstan, Peter Friday for medical, and songwriter for Fair Isle. I was hearing some different information in relation to the Fair Isle song. I have to get that part clarified. Yeah, somebody had to clarify that part for me. We have a caller online. Good night.
Sheldon.
Yes, good night.
Good night. David Bumpy Griffith, the first FIFA referee from Grenada.
David Bumpy Griffith.
Yeah, from the road, the first FIFA referee. You know it's FIFA?
Yes, the International Football Organization.
The first FIFA referee for Grenada. David Bumpy Griffith. Right? He was referee for over 20 years.
Okay.
Cool.
All right, thank you. Yeah. I'm hearing some names that I know, some that I don't know. And I'll say though, that there are some that in my mind I can't see in the top 50. I could see as recognizing, but maybe not in the top 50. Go right ahead, caller. You're live. Hi, good. Go ahead. You're live.
Yes, I just called back to talk about Mr. Joseph.
Mr.
A name when coming to football in this country. He would have from the grassroots come right up. He would have done for Grenada for a number of years, a national player representing Grenada, and even reach as far as becoming the president of GFA. He was
Chenny
former
Joseph
president of the GFA. He had again sterling contribution. Yeah, sterling contribution again in football for Grenada, and is that's a name that always come up when coming to any national game that is being played with Grenada. You would hear the commentators go back to persons like Chenny Joseph and so. So that's somebody I like to recognize too. Also, the lady that wrote the national anthem, I think her name is Irva Merle Baptiste Blackett. Right?
That name did come up already, but go ahead. That name did come up already, but go ahead. Yeah.
All right. Wonderful. So as this comes to mind, I just bring it up. But again, Mr. Chenny Joseph, sterling contribution in the area of football from a national perspective and otherwise, helped build grassroots football throughout Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique as the president of the Grenada Football Association. Someone like that, which I do believe should be recognized as a hero of this country. Thank you.
Okay, great. Recognized, but are you putting them in the top 50? The top 50 that we're looking at here have to be people whose contribution we consider so significant that they can make the top 50. Yeah, we have a call online. Good night.
Hello.
Hi, good night. Go right ahead.
Sheldon?
Yes, sir. Go right ahead.
Yeah. There was a fellow called Dommy James in town. I don't know his right name, whether it's James. Or first name. He had soft. He used to walk on his toe line. There was once a truck got stuck below the tunnel, Sendal Tunnel. A banana truck got stuck there, and they spent hours trying to get up that truck. Apparently, the siding of the truck got jammed at the top of the tunnel. Dommy James was passing, and he asked them what happened there. They told him, well, look what happened there. He said, "Are you too stupid? Let go the air in the tire." And he thought, after they do that, the truck came out because the truck went down. I recommend him.
Would you say he did that, but does that qualify him to be in the top 50 most prominent Grenadians?
Well, we have to have a vote. I don't know your choosing.
No.
You are choosing it.
But it's a good story to know.
They had him as the biggest fool in town. Everybody knows that. So, in other words, there is nobody stupid. People call people. No one is stupid.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. And I'm seeing a bit of back and forth here where some people saying it's Wellington Friday that did the song Fair Isle, and some are saying it's Stan Friday that did Fair Isle. So somebody who know for sure Can you all confirm it for me? Who did that song, Fair Isle? And was that song done after independence? We have a caller on. Oops, I missed that one. Was that song done before or after independence? Yeah, was that song done before or after independence? And again, it's important because the young ones should be able to listen back this program, and when they hear that name, they should hear the story attached to that name to know who person A or person B was. Yeah? Who person A or person B was. So we have a caller online. Hello, good night. Hello.
Hello, good night.
Hi, good night. You're live, caller. Yes, you're live. Go right ahead.
Good night, sir. Sheldon, I have a name, one Mr. Steve Mack. Steve Mack is the only person that may be in Mr. Carriacou.
That did what?
Let me call back, sorry.
No, was it? We're hearing you, you know. Oh boy, and they're gone. Yeah, I'm seeing Denise Williams, coach and teacher. Yeah, that's Anderson Peters. She has a world champion there. She has several others who have gone on significantly as a coach. Very successful as a teacher and so on. The Stan Friday did it. Somebody's telling me they're swearing that Stan Friday did this song. So Melville Shaper and his wife Joy Shaper for establishing the St. John's Christian Secondary School, Shaper School. This school enrolled overage children who weren't able to enter other secondary schools because of their age. Yeah, that's very interesting. So Melville Shaper and his wife Joy Shaper for establishing the St. John Christian Secondary School. What some people, up to this day, some people still say Shaper, right? This school enrolled overage children who weren't able to enter other secondary schools because of their age. All right, and again, along with that, I'm seeing Miss Denise Williams as a coach and a teacher as well. Yeah. Fitzgerald Naka Joseph Grenada stop basketball. All you call me and tell me I go stop reading. No? I go leave all you call and say. Yeah, I go leave. Somebody saying the school was before independence. All right. So yeah, I'm making all you. I go stop reading. I go let all call and say. I'm going through here. Let me see. Roy John was pre and post independence. All right, that's what I'm seeing there. And Royston LaHaye of the Grenada Olympic Committee. So that's in the field of sports with specific sports administration. Royston LaHaye. Yeah. So I'm seeing some of those names coming through there. And this is a name who for me, and I'm being biased here. This is a name who for me, and it's the second time I'm seeing it. And I'm going to call this name. Because for me, this name definitely will always be in my top 50. The late Miss Ann Hopkin in the area of health and philanthropy. Yeah. I'm seeing Mr. Theophilus Toffee in the environment. I'm not too sure. That's the gentleman who cleans the Carriacou. And Winston Fleury, big drum and culture in Carriacou. Mr. Winston Fleury in the field of culture. Yeah. Big drum and culture in Carriacou. Yeah, and I could be biased with that too, you know. Yeah, I could say for Carriacou and Carriacou and Petit Martinique, I know that you're listening. Yeah. Carriacou and Petit Martinique, I know you're listening. So if I say Lucian Duncan, what would you all say? For me, and I need to hear from you all, Carriacou and Petit Martinique, Lucian Duncan for big drum. And keeping the culture alive, passing it on to our next generation, who are now passing it on to our next generation. Winston Fleury for the same thing. Yeah. And if I say someone like Canute Caliste, who is the late... I just realized I had the lines blocked, folks. I am very sorry, extremely sorry. Yeah. Mr. Canute Caliste, who was into the culture, the music, and is because he's now passed to the great beyond, was also an internationally recognized artist for what they called his primitive style of art. Yeah, his paintings fetch a pretty penny in some places right now. Yeah, if you have a Canute Caliste, and so it's something to hold on to. You don't get rid of that. You cherish that. We have a caller. Hello, good night.
Hello, good night. How are you?
I'm quite fine. You go right ahead, my friend.
Yes, well, one called me, older person called me and asked me to relate someone name for them.
Go ahead.
The person name is Crafton Maguire, and the person is from Latas in St. Patrick's.
Crofton Maguire. So that
stated
name came up.
yeah?
That name Crofton Maguire came up very early, and it's a name I was unfamiliar with.
Yes, because I didn't even know that too. The person told me he was the first ballet man in Grenada. So he had a ballet group named DVDV Ballet, and he used to go around in all parishes and villages and teach ballet. Also, I'm wondering, did Shirley Robinson win call?
Yes, her name came up early in the game as well.
All right, okay.
Yes, and Patrick's represented.
Yeah. We have a few people. Well, I mean, as you may know, it's about Dr. Friday and so forth.
Yeah,
I think it is not Wellington Friday that wrote the song. It's
Stan.
other brother.
Stan. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's Stan that wrote the song.
Okay.
But I could be corrected, but I think it's Stan from what I know.
Well, what I could say is this, that I knew Dr. Stan Friday personally. In fact, he was my very first doctor, was Stan Friday. And even when he was about to start Glenelg, I knew about Glenelg spring water before Glenelg start. I knew when he was doing the tests on everything, and he got the equipment to do the bottles and so on, and he was carrying out all his things to start that. And I always heard that he was the one that did Fair Isle, but I was hearing from one or two other people that know it's Wellington that did it and not him.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway,
I don't know if you also know that Stan had played a great role in the great St. Patrick's Day we used to have. He spearheaded that committee with great pride and prestige. As a matter of fact, he that had it so popular, he used to bring people with coming with boats to take part in the sailing boat race all the way from Union Island, Carriacou, and so forth. Like he was very instrumental in that. And he that really gave St. Patrick's his name with St. Patrick's Day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so he also contributed in that light also.
Okay. All right, good. Thank you so very much, my brother.
You're welcome, brother.
All right. 4407377. Let's hit the button again. Oops, we lost that one. Yeah, 4407377. Yes, yeah, I know my friend like that Canut Kalis. That was your grandfather. Okay, all right. Let me go to the phone line once again. Let's try this one on the WhatsApp, and then we'll come back to the local line. Hello, good night.
Good night, Chief. All right.
Noise Radio.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we're hearing you clearly, man.
All right. My question before my suggestion. Are we recognizing Grenadians, stalwart Grenadians out in the diaspora also in that list?
If they have made significant contributions to Grenada, sure.
See, not easy. All right. I would say they always say ladies first. I would suggest one of my classmates from GBS's days. Well, not GBS's, Wesley Hall in Queens Park, and then she attended Anglican High School. Yvette Lacrette from River Road.
Mm-hmm. And the reason?
First Grenadian. She's a international top. She's Naomi Campbell's chef, Obama's chef. She won Top Chef. That's a big international cooking competition here in the United States. Mm-hmm. She won that so many years on more than one occasions. Mm-hmm. All right. And also Mr. Lambert and the Matadors for music and culture.
Mm-hmm.
Renowned name throughout the world.
But let me ask you two.
Just as big as Barney and the Dragonets. In my opinion, biasly, or even bigger.
Let me ask you two probing questions. One, in the two instances have you spoken about, have they been flying the Grenada flag? And how has that impacted us here as Grenadians?
Because everywhere Yvette goes, all her dishes are Grenadian dishes.
Mm-hmm.
For everyone that she cook for. I mean, she has chefed for a lot of super icon stars, as I said, the past president and other icon people, right? and all her dishes are Grenadian dishes. She has chef on a couple of occasions when they like when the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell and was it Anthony Boson? I forgot who came to the UN a couple of years ago, and they held the after event at the consulate in Brooklyn, in Manhattan.
Mm-hmm.
I was there, and that was the first I've eaten some stuff, and it's only she and I was sitting with her, and then she told me, "Wait, you know that's breadfruit? You eat it? You know that is this you just had there?" And I couldn't believe it,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And then she also told me whenever she chef, she made sure she incorporate all Grenadian products, recipes, and so forth in her meals. Mr. Lambert and the Matadors flies the Grenadian flag with pride, brother. You know, he has under his accolade musicians from all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever they perform, that Grenadian flag always fly. The guy who won the independence competition in New York, Calypso competition, is one of his frontline singers.
Okay.
All right.
The
younger folks in Grenada may not know of him, not know of that band, but anywhere in the world you go, people know Lambert and the Matadors. In the IMF Christmas parties in Washington.
Hello.
In different for different occasions and other iconic events.
Mm-hmm.
I lift up Miss Eva Lacre, and I say that with pride. And Lambert and the Matadors, he's from Carriacou.
Okay. All right, my brother.
I lift up Yvette Lacred with my heart is filled with joy anytime I speak about that young lady. Mm-hmm. She's very influential and very, very proud of our heritage. I rest my case.
All right.
Don't forget Angel Hap as an institution and under the auspice of me.
But Angel Haps predated Angel Haps as an institution predated independence. It's my pan side, but it predated independence.
You think?
It was around before independence. Angel Haps older than Grenada.
Yeah.
It's more than 50 years old.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you know
they celebrated 50 quite a while back.
A while back,
yeah.
But they stand, But could I give the current government a little advice?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know sometimes you say we just had to help them out, you know. instead of driving to build a new hospital, my suggestion is take that money and put it into the existing facility, you know, and equip it with all the modern equipment and all I can do, and they will still have money to, after they're done, to erect a museum marking the 50th anniversary of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, and then all these people that we are mentioning, whoever we pick as the top 50, they can start placing within that museum along with all the other history and artifacts of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique.
Because I'll tell you what I'm doing is I'm taking the names and the reasoning behind it. If I just get a name and I don't get a reasoning, I can't make a consideration. But I'm taking the names and the reasonings, and what I will do is, on my own, sit over the weekend and try and compile a list to see who should go on, in my view, and who should stay off. You understand?
Yeah.
But I'm listening, so I'm taking the stuff from you all. All right, my brother, thank you.
You can reach out to the likes of Mr. Ashby and other folks that are still alive. And, you know, Dr. Keith Mitchell and these people, and hear their view on it.
Definitely.
Their view on the names that you would suggest.
Because they are a lot more experienced than me. They know a lot of these people we're speaking about, they know them personally. Yeah.
And I'm proud to say I know them personally. They were my teachers, Mr. Trevor Emmanuel. I mean, I gave him hell in school, but you know, Mr. Victor Ashby, you know, all these folks and them. I was blessed to have them in my life. So, let me tell you something. Tonight's show is iconic.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for taking my idea.
What your idea? Where you come from with your idea? Oh, please.
Hey, what's have a good night?
I've been banging this idea around over a year now. Anyway, later, brother.
All right, bless.
Wait, I've been banging that idea around in my head over a year now. So, but let's go to the phone lines once again. Hello, good night. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, yes, caller, go right ahead.
Hello.
Yes, you're live. Go right ahead.
Yes. Sheldon. Dr. Thomas' brother, who sang, I can't remember his name now, but he
Dictator.
sang Brighter Out of Darkness for culture.
Does not qualify.
Edwards for culture, because he used to teach the young children, and then he used to be playing, I think, pan too.
Okay.
So Peck Edwards and Dr. Thomas' brother, he sang Brighter Out of Darkness. I can't remember his name now.
Okay, great. Does not qualify. Brighter Out of Darkness predates independence. And you're speaking of Dictator. Yeah, he's also a Thomas. I can't remember his first name off the top of my head. I know it, but I can't remember it off the top of my head. But Brighter Out of Darkness predates independence. And as such, no. Yeah. All right, 44073. Well, do you matter calling number? Okay. We have a call online. Good night.
Sheldon, good night.
Yes, good night, sir.
I have three names here.
Go ahead.
Perhaps two you have heard of before, but one that I haven't heard it tonight yet. And this is Steve Mark. Steve Mark from Victoria. This man played soccer for a number of years, and he was the only man that I know, only the name of Mr. Caribbean. He was that good. Perhaps he was the best soccer player ever. I don't know. But he's the only person I know that owned this Mr. Caribbean thing. So in terms of sports, I think his name should be there. But the other one is Dr. Keith Mitchell. And I want to just say something quite briefly here, although his name was there already. In terms of leadership, I remember after the hurricane, when everybody was saying, send our children in Barbados and Vince and all kind of thing, the doc said no. Let them study under the tent. And, you know, that's a simple decision. But I think the effect is far-reaching. You could have, what could happen to our young girls in Barbados and St. Vincent? I think that was brilliant leadership, that little simple things. And third, Dr. Clarice Mothers, she's there. She's in health. I don't know if you know, she was instrumental in our hospital, the main hospital. She was there for that. She was in education, and that lady has transformed St. Mark's. St. Mark's was at the bottom ladder of poverty. It was last down. She has moved it up one notch. And the other thing she has done is just too much to mention. And I'll leave it for another time. But I think her name has to be there. I don't know if politics disbar her from that, but I think her name has to be in terms of contributing to the people of St. Mark's and Grenada.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Folks, I'm kind of interested in hearing, I haven't heard Petit Martinique. I haven't heard a name from Petit Martinique. Who are the people who have kept the boat building alive in Carriacou and Petit Martinique? Who are the elder people out of Carriacou and Petit Martinique who have taught the younger ones how to go out and fish and so on, and have kept the culture and the history alive in Carriacou and Petit Martinique? A lot of times we talk about Carriacou, but you see Petit Martinique, that is one of my home too. I find I hear a name from Petit Martinique yet, you know. Yeah, I have one in my head, but I ain't saying it. Let somebody from Carriacou or Petit Martinique call and big up Carriacou and Petit Martinique people. If you have a list of the most prominent, the top 50 Grenadians who have contributed the most, in your view, to the development of Grenada. Not just that they were popular, not just that people liked them, not just that they were also good at what they did, but also that they have contributed in a way that their contribution lives on. So that, okay, they may have been a football player, but did they coach afterwards and coach the younger ones to help develop a team or help to develop younger folks who were able to go forward and play on the national level or nearly even the international level and so on? For instance, in coaching, and so you have the names I mentioned before, Dennis Williams, you have Coach Paul Phillip, you have Coach Albert. Yeah, in boxing, you have, oh boy, his name eludes me at this point in time, and my good friend, I know he's most likely listening tonight, up there in Laborie, Coach Grant. Yeah. If I don't forget that name, I'd get lash. Coach Grant. Yeah. Even though he was boxing before independence and so, but he coached a significant, most of the boxing teams here coming out afterwards and so, Coach Grant. And while they mentioned Dr. Thomas, his brother, what about Dr. Thomas, Winston Thomas himself? Because I believe he made a very significant contribution. Yeah, when it came to the field of medicine and so on, I believe that he made a significant contribution as well. All right, so folks, the phone lines are open, 440-7377 and 347-329-3101. For those of you out there in the diaspora, no, we cannot forget you as well. And there are many people who, even though they may have spent years out there in the diaspora, they have contributed significantly to the development of Grenada. Yeah, and they must be recognized. And or they have flown the flag of Grenada out there in the diaspora, and many people have got to know Grenada through their efforts and through their work. Yeah, so give me some names, tell me about some of them, not just me, because this, let me tell you, this is not about me. Some of the things I'm hearing tonight, I'm hearing it for the very, very first time. Yeah, very first time. Right? There are some, as I could tell you, I personally knew Dr. Stan Friday. He was my very first doctor, Dr. Stan Friday. Right? So I remember sitting in his office and he telling me about he's going to do this water thing. And so I've been around a while. So telling me he's going to do this water thing. That had been about 1994. Yeah. 1994 or so. And him telling me about that. We've got a caller on the line. Hello, good night. Hello, good night, caller. You're live.
Yes. Don't forget Peter Humphrey, the great union leader.
Peter Humphrey for Union or Peter Humphrey the artist? Or you're talking about Chester Humphrey?
Peter Humphrey.
Peter Humphrey. Okay, tell us a bit about Peter Humphrey.
Chester Humphrey.
Oh, Chester, you mean? Right, that's what I was saying, yeah. So Chester Humphrey. Mm-hmm. And why would you say Chester Humphrey?
Chester Humphrey.
Yes, and why would you say Chester Humphrey? For those young ones who might be listening and don't know much about him.
Chester Humphrey.
Yeah. Yeah, give us a little.
Great union leader.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. All right, caller. Well, thank you so very much.
Yes.
Okay, no problem. Yes, indeed. Yes, so yes, the name Chester Humphrey has come up. Is that the only person in trade unionism between 1974 and now who we think has done enough to end up on a list of the top 50 personalities in Grenada over the years? Yeah. There's a name that came up as well, Miss Judy Williams. Yeah. Activism, and so the name Judy Williams, I saw that name come up a while ago. All right, Miss Judy Williams, I saw that name coming up. And Carlos Pecos Lewis for football and netball, and he is still going. All right, so as I said, I'm seeing the names, but unless I get a little background on it, yeah, so I'm taking into consideration the names and so that I see coming through, but I want somebody to tell me a little bit about the people and them. Yeah, tell me a little bit about the people and them so that we know. Yeah. Well, you must send that picture to me now to go and make me laugh. 440-7377 347-329-3101. Yeah, some of the names I don't know, so we're looking for the reasoning behind them. Good night, caller. Go right ahead. Go right ahead, caller. You're live.
Hello?
Hello? Yeah, you go right
Hello?
ahead. Yes, you're live, caller. Go right ahead.
Good night.
Good night. We're hearing you. You go ahead.
Yeah. And I can hear too clearly. I would like to talk to Mr. Sheldon.
Yes, you're live. You're live caller, so
Huh?
you can. You're live, so you can go ahead.
Hold on. Yeah, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, so you can go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, about at least talking about
Go ahead.
I'd like to mention a prominent Grenadian who grew up in Trinidad, the mighty Sparrow. Slinger from Francisco. He was born and bred in Grand Roy.
Go ahead.
And he went to Trinidad, at the age of 16, at a young age, as a teenager, to live with his mother, And he was a next door neighbor of mine.
Yeah. Okay.
So I want to know from Mr. Sheldon, is he qualified for the list?
Knowing Sparrow, I can't repeat some of the things that he told them about a certain part of his body that was Grenadian, but he has never denied his Grenadian heritage. He has always embraced the fact that he's a Grenadian and so on. Flying the flag of Grenada, I can't say for sure that he has been, but he's never denied. As some people used to do in Trinidad back in the days, they try to hide the fact that they're Grenadian. He was never one of them. Yeah? So
he was not one of them?
He's not one of the people that was hiding the fact that he was Grenadian. He always let people know he's a Grenadian.
He never did. He came back to Grenada, several times. They and the Grenadians and Grand Roy people, they even build a plaque for him right up on Grand Roy Hill, right? So he never denied the fact he's from Grenada. Bottom line is, he was born and bred in Grenada.
Okay. All right. Thank you so very much, caller.
And he's,
You have some other suggestions apart from Slinger Francisco?
I can't hear you clearly because you're all the way in the back.
Okay. Yes, I know that happens with some of the calls. Some of them are okay, but some, we're having a little problem. But no problem, caller. We've got you.
I would like to mention my Diaspora.
Okay, no problem, sir.
Right, just like
Great, thanks. So Slinger Francisco, the mighty Sparrow. While he has never denied that he's a Grenadian, has he ever really went out there with the Grenadian flag, or is he more seen by most people as a Trinidadian artist? And I'm just playing devil's advocate here. The name has come up, so for consideration. But is it a case where he is considered as a Grenadian artist, or is he considered a Trinidadian artist? He has never denied his Grenadian heritage, that he is a Grenadian. He's never denied that. But, we look at it. Not making any promises, but let's look at it. 440-7377, I just missed a call there. 440-7377. Give us a call. Yeah, let us know. Coach Norbert Grant. That's Coach Grant's name. Granto. Yeah, I haven't seen him for a little while, but then I haven't been around where he would normally be for a little while. Yeah, Coach Grant, man. Norby. Yeah. And someone is saying that if we consider Sparrow, you have to put Valentino and Bomber and all of them into the list. Well, let me see. Petit Martinique. Yeah, Petit Martinique. I'm seeing the name. Teacher Lucy De Rocher in the field of education. So somebody from Petit Martinique, you had to tell me about Teacher Lucy De Rocher. We have a caller online. Hello, good night.
Sheldon Nurse Clarkson. She was a head nurse at the General Hospital, and she was also a trade unionist.
You're talking about, is it Lorette? Not Lorette. Lorette Clarkson.
Yeah.
Lorette, yeah. Clarkson. Okay, yes, I knew her very well in trade unionism and so on, and as a nurse, yes, over the years. Okay. Yes, so for some of the younger ones who may not know, Nurse Clarkson was very big with Public Workers Union, I believe it was. Yeah, Public Workers Union. At a point in time, I think she was in charge of the Public Workers Union, and a senior nurse for many, many years. So, okay. But I can't be the one saying that. All you have to tell me. I might be wrong. Right? So, Keith Williams. And if you're mentioning Keith Williams is not just dance. When you have a sporting activity, Keith Williams is always one of the people. That's the Rasta guy that's been dancing until many years. You know him since whenever dancing. And he has always been one of the people as well when they have sports, especially intercol games, all those things. He's always there and he's always contributing, he's always assisting, he's always helping and so on. Does he make the top 50? I don't know. If you say him, you have to give me a good reason why. Nice. Sherma Wells. Yes, the name Sherma Wells has come up as well. Sherma Wells hosting various, they call it what? The classic ride when you want to have something done in a special way, you call Sherma Wells. And also from her days, I believe, on radio, television, her years in the media and so on. You all have to give me the reasonings. We have a call online. Hello, good night.
Yeah, I'd like to speak to Mr. Sheldon Scott.
Yes, we're hearing you. We're hearing you.
Huh?
Yeah, you called a while ago. We heard you when you mentioned Slinger Francisco, so we did hear you.
Right, but you say he's not. You were saying he's not from Grenada.
No, I didn't say that. I said he always recognizes the fact that he's from Grenada, but some folks more see him as a Trinidadian artist, or just being devil's advocate.
Well, regardless of what some folks see him as, he's a born Grenadian, right? Mm-hmm. And when he had some kind of controversy with Trinidadian people, and what he tell them? they all could kiss his Grenadian black ass, so he is a Grenadian. I mean, if you want to put him in the category of talent, he should be on the list.
Okay.
He's a very talented person. I mean, so I don't see why you up there, you know.
Okay. All right, caller.
Don't try to be biased, man. Come on, you know.
No, I'm not. You know. No, by saying what I say is exactly not being biased, because I looked at it from your perspective and from another perspective. Yeah.
Yeah, well.
Mm-hmm. From both perspectives.
From my perspective, he's a Grenadian.
Mm-hmm.
And he should be recognized, you know.
Okay.
Don't keep
All right,
keep
my
him
friend.
in the dark, man. Come on, you know. Don't keep him in the dark.
All right.
Okay,
my
I
friend.
I want to hear his name. You could ask the people if he's qualified for the list in that category. Let me hear what Grenadians have to say about him.
Well, that's just one of a few. So we're moving on. We noted his name and we're moving on. All right.
You noticed his name or what?
We noted his name. We've taken note of his name and we're moving on. All right. Hello.
All right. You know.
Yeah.
Well,
mm-hmm.
you know,
okay.
If that's what you want to do, that's what you know. Go ahead. I mean, you know, I call radio stations already.
No.
Because I ask certain questions, so you know.
No caller is
okay.
not. We're not upset or anything.
That's okay, you know.
We're just saying it. His name is there for discussion. Okay,
well,
so all right.
I like other people calling and talk to him. Can I call and talk? Can I talk to him too? On the air.
You're on the air right now. You were before and you're on the air right now. So we've noted the name Slinger Francisco Sparrow. We've noted it. We looked at it from different perspectives. So his name is there for consideration. All right?
For consideration.
Yeah.
Whether I should put him on the air or not. All right.
Okay, thank you. All right. No, I think it's pretty easy to understand. You've called twice. You've mentioned the same name. I have played devil's advocate. Maybe you don't understand what I mean when I said devil's advocate in relation to it. Oh boy, I nearly made a mistake there, yeah. When I say play devil's advocate in relation to his name, I'm just saying that there are some, because I'm seeing the messages coming inside here via the WhatsApp and so on. I'm seeing the messages coming. And there are some that might be for and some against. So I'm just playing the devil's advocate and saying, well, yes, you could include him this way or you may not include him this way. I'm not saying that he is worthy or not worthy of being on the list. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying he's not worthy. And we know he's a born Grenadian. You have to weigh him, though, the same way that every name being mentioned here, if you're going to look at your top 50 between independence and now, you have to weigh each name versus their contribution to Grenada, not just being Grenadian. You could be Grenadian, you could be very famous out there, but what is your contribution that you have given back to the country? We have a call on the line. Hello, good night.
Sheldon, it's going to be very hard for you because there's a lot of people you don't know nothing about, you know.
But that's why you have to tell me.
Like Joseph Cummins. If I tell you about Joseph Cummins, you want to know who is Joseph Cummins.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and he was a top cricketer for Grenada and the Windward Islands, and also a soccer player too.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Yeah, he used to go presentation college, right?
Mm-hmm.
And someone we must look at too, Ashley Ram folks. You understand what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because most of the football players, Ram folks was the coach. You know? So there's a lot of that I tell you, for you have to get the older heads to suffer this thing with you.
That's what I'm saying. Call.
A very good program.
Mm-hmm.
Very good program.
Thank you so very much, sir.
Anyhow, I'm listening, yeah.
All right, thank you. And we have a call online. Hello, good night.
Good night to you, sir.
Good night.
One by the name of Mr. Gerald, one of the greatest sign painters.
Hold on. You went a beep came right when you were saying the name. Say the name again and give us a reason.
Mr. Gerald Sandiford.
Mm-hmm.
You get that?
Yeah, Gerald Sandiford. Mm-hmm.
Grenville Street. He was one of the best sign painter that passed through the city of St. George's, and he didn't have no hand. It was a wing he have, and all the government building in St. George's, he used to paint it.
Mm.
As a
That's
sign
interesting.
painter.
That's interesting.
Huh?
All right. Thank you so very much, my friend.
All right.
And, oops, yeah, let me clear. And, hello, good night. Hello, good night.
Good night, Sheldon.
Yes, sir.
As the name Norbert Grant come up for boxing, we have one that one of his students who is now doing very well as a national boxing coach, travel around the world with the young boxers and keeping boxing alive, which is Mr. Stephen Benjamin. Even in recent time, he was in the news. He takes some, the young people out to the boxing and so.
Mm-hmm.
And he's doing very well. He's doing very, very well and have brought gold medals for Grenada as a boxer in his time. And now he's there contributing in the area of coaching as a national coach for Grenada. Stephen Benjamin, a name to consider.
Mm-hmm. All right, great. 440-7377. Wait now, I ain't find Carriacou, where are you? Petit Martinique, where are you? I ain't find here in St. David people calling some names. I ain't find here in St. David people. Is it me that they ain't taking all your call? No, I think I'm taking everybody call. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, yes, good evening. I'd like to apologize because
you didn't
I just spoke to
understand
you a while ago about about
Yeah.
Diaspora, and then a friend of mine just called me and told me, which I had a laugh, that you was hearing me, but I wasn't hearing you clearly.
Yeah, I realized that was the
And
case.
you were talking, you were like far away, going in and out, and all this sort of thing.
Okay,
But
no
he
problem.
he's calling me on the phone right now, and he said, "Oh, the guy was hearing you. He agreed with you." So,
No problem, sir.
All right.
Duly
But,
noted. Thank you.
I apologize, sir.
That's no problem.
I mean,
That's no problem. We're not upset. You'd realize I always laugh, and I ain't upset. Because I understand that you were
All
not
right.
hearing properly. Yeah.
Okay,
No
good
problem.
man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. Yeah, I realized the caller wasn't hearing clearly. So we were just saying, yeah, right. So we're done with that one. But the name is noted. All right. And let me make sure the phone lines. Yeah, St. David. Come, so let's tell me that nobody from St. David who could make, if you're speaking about top 50 people that have contributed to the development of Grenada, I need to hear some more names out of St. David and these places too. We have a call online. Good night.
Yeah, Sheldon, good night again.
Hi, good night, yeah.
I just asked me 1 second. I called before early in the game.
Yeah.
Portrayed to Crafton Maguire and Shirley Robinson.
Okay, good.
But
Yes, you're the one that
I
started.
just in the program so well. And something coming to mind, a lady, I happened to drove her once or twice, but I didn't know much about her. But she passed away shortly, about a couple months ago or so. A lady by Miss Ferguson from St. John.
You know, from the time you say that, I started writing her name.
And I remember in this lady tributes, there were so many good things mentioned about that lady. And it's surprising to me that nobody has the spirit from St. John to call and recognize that lady. Since you know the name, I want you to put her forward for me.
Okay, great. Thank you so very much.
She made great contribution, not just to St. John, but to Grenada on a whole, in culture, and I understand she was an educator as well. I don't know her first name. I know her as Miss Ferguson.
Okay.
She passed away not too long ago, just a couple months ago.
Okay. Thank you so very much, my brother. All right. Yeah, from the time he started to say died a few months ago, I started to write the name because I know the name that he was coming with again, to the same level as Miss Shirley Robertson and so on in culture. Hi, good night, Carriacou.
And how
I am quite fine.
I've been waiting so long on the phone. The phone is hot like fire.
I must start to use my Carriacou name. I must drop the Scott thing and start to use my Carriacou name.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Scott, I would like to recognize Mr. Nimrod. I know he gone beyond the great beyond, but I like to recognize him for the great work that he has done, tremendous work that he has done in Carriacou and Petit Martinique, in development in Carriacou, developing Carriacou and Petit Martinique. And Mr. Scott, I remember the Right Honorable Dr. Keith Mitchell, as he said to Mr. Nimrod, don't matter wherever you go, when you go abroad and you go away, make sure when you come to your country, you come back at least for one scholarship you have in your pocket. One scholarship you have in your pocket for the children of Carriacou, right? So at least Grenadian children, the Carriacou children could go forward. And that's what he does. So a lot of children benefit from the same achievement from Mr. Nimrod. So I'm very, very proud for you to recognize him tonight.
Let me ask you.
Also, Mr. Scott.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Mr. Our coaching boxer, Sebastian Steele. He coached a lot of young boys in Carriacou and Petit Martinique to the international level, such as the Commonwealth Games. And I'm very, very proud of him. I also like you to recognize him, please. Have a nice.
No, don't leave. Don't run off of me. Hello.
Yeah.
I want to ask you a question. Who are
very, very low. That's the trouble.
Yeah, and I know that's the problem the caller was having with me a while ago. They were not hearing me properly. I'm asking here about any of the people who have been involved in culture or who have been involved in both building some aspects of the traditions of Carriacou.
There is a lot of people here, Mr. Scott, who knows a lot, but they're not saying nothing.
They need to
call. So I only could tell you the little bit I know.
Yeah.
And you know I haven't been living here for a long time.
Yes.
Yes? So I don't know much, but the little bit I know, I pass it on to you. But there's a lot of people in Carriacou here. They know quite a lot about the arts. And they keep their mouth shut.
They'll call.
They're not talking.
All right, my dear. So thank you.
Thanks very much, eh?
No problem.
Okay, then. Bye.
All right. So, yes, that was Carriacou in the... How come Skylark naming come up yet? Yeah. We have a caller online. Hello, good night. Hello.
Sheldon, good night.
Hi.
Sheldon, good night.
Good night, my dear.
The person that the gentleman referred to is Elsia Ferguson.
Yeah, I know.
All right. I was about to ask you, but you said it. Are we speaking of persons being born in Grenada or persons who contributed to the development of Grenada?
I would say persons who have contributed to the development of Grenada, they don't necessarily have to be born, because if we do that, then we have to take Maurice Bishop off the list.
That is it. Okay.
If we say only persons born on island, Maurice is off.
Let me correct myself. Are we saying Grenadians? Let me take out born. Grenadians, because we have Grenadians by birth, we have Grenadians by descent.
Yes,
we have Grenadians who are citizens, who obtain citizens. Right. Are we speaking of the persons who are Grenadians, just being a Grenadian, or the persons who contributed to the development of Grenada, no matter how small the contribution is? Because I am a Grenadian. I live and I go to South Africa. I work, I do everything in South Africa. I become famous in South Africa, but I haven't contributed anything to Grenada. My fame is in South Africa. Yes, I did well in South Africa. My name make the top in South Africa. But but I'm a Grenadian. But what is my contribution to the development of Grenada?
And you see, that's what I'm getting at.
You may have a young man and a young lady here in Grenada who has never traveled. But their contribution to Grenada, what they did to the development of Grenada, need to be recognized. So we have to get that thing straight. Is it just because I'm a Grenadian, or is it because Grenadians who made valuable contribution to the development of Grenada? We have to get that thing straight.
Okay.
That's my take on it.
Okay, great. Thank you so very much, my dear.
Then. Okay, good.
Right. And we have a call online. Good night.
Hello.
Hi, good night. Yes, caller.
Good night, Mr. Scott.
Yes, sir.
How are you doing?
Hey, I'm quite fine, and you are live. Go right ahead.
Yeah, right. I was looking at teacher Valerie Francis.
Valerie Francis. Tell me about her.
Yes. Teacher Valerie Francis, she used to teach at the St. David's RC School. And I look at her as a true woman of the style. She had a love and a passion for the students of the St. David's RC School, together with Mr. Winston McCulquin, also known as Princey, may his soul rest in peace. Teacher Valerie was a mother, a grandmother, a teacher, a father, a aunt, everything at the St. David's RC School. Even when she taught for a few years, she went home, and then she still come back and assist the principal and them at the school without, well, she was working at least for no pay, because she loved the children. She loved the job. As I said, she had a passion for the teaching. So I was thinking about that. I don't know if she get any title as yet, so I said, let me call.
Of course.
And mention her name.
All right. Thank you so very much, caller.
You're welcome.
All right. Wonderful.
All right.
Yes, indeed. So, teacher Valerie Francis, I don't know. Yeah, I think it's going to be becoming impossible for me alone. I can't do it alone. We have to do it together. We will have to put together that 50 list. So I will come up with the possibles, and then we will take it from there. We've got a call online. Good night. Hello. Good night. Oh, listen to me on the phone, my dear. I realize that you're listening in the background. Hello.
Hello, good night, Sheldon.
Yes, pay attention to me on the phone line. Go ahead.
Good.
Yeah, go ahead.
There's one man from Subies, Telford Bido, who is involved with hiking. I'm not sure what category he would be in. Telford Bido.
Telford Bido, yeah. That name has come up earlier in a message that was sent to me, but I didn't say it yet. So thank you so very much.
And there's another one, Tobit. I'm not sure he was in boat building. He used to be in Subies. In an area called the Boatyard. But I think he went back to Carriacou.
Give me the name again. What do they call them?
Tobit. Yeah, he left. He used to be in the Boatyard in Subies, but he gone back up to Carriacou.
All right. Okay, thank you so very much, caller.
All right. Good night.
Yeah, folks, I had to get the board sorted out. And I do apologize to the callers who are not hearing me clearly. So I'll say this, though. When you call, go ahead with your presentation. Once you realize the call has been answered, go ahead with your presentation, because I recognize that I am having a problem with the board. Yeah, all you got to help me get a board in June. Yeah, seriously. I'll have to get a new board. All right. We have a caller coming in on the WhatsApp. Let me just punch them in and let me make sure the other line is clear as well. All right. We have a caller. Hello, good night. Yeah, good night, caller. You go right ahead. Good night, caller. Go right ahead.
Okay, I would like to recognize Sir Daniel Charles Williams, former Governor General, politician, and he was a prominent lawyer.
So, Sir Danny Williams.
Yes, Sir Daniel Williams. He was a Governor General before Dame Cecile Grenada.
Well, he was the Governor General before the Governor General before Dame Cecile, which was oh boy, what's his name again? Oh Lord, look, I'm forgetting the Governor General that swore me in. Oh boy, Sir Carlisle Glean. Yeah, so it was Sir Carlisle, Sir Danny Williams, Sir Carlisle Glean, and then Dame Cecile Grenada. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so very much.
You're most welcome.
Thank you. All right.
Bye.
Yes, so I St. David's again did. I Sir Daniel Williams. Yeah? Sir Danny Williams. And we have a caller online. Hello, good night.
Hello, good night.
Good night, caller. You go right ahead.
Hello?
Yes, caller. You go right ahead.
Yes.
Go right ahead.
Yes. Good night, Sheldon.
Yeah, we're hearing you, you know. You go ahead.
Yeah, good night, Sheldon.
Yes, go ahead.
Right. Sugar Patch from Carriacou. He sing Put My Name on the Passport Cover. And
Lower the volume in the background when you're calling.
also teaching the young kids in... And he's also teaching the young children. Carriacou to do the drumming and dancing.
Okay, great. Let me just say, if when you are speaking on the phone, you're hearing yourself on the device that you're listening, it is causing a distortion on this end, so that because it may be the first time that you're calling a program, so definitely I understand. Yeah, but just in case, when you're calling, speak on the phone. Just go ahead, make your presentation on the phone, because if you're trying to listen via the computer or the phone or the radio, whatever you're listening on, the television, you would be getting a distortion. So go right ahead. When you call, just go right ahead and make your presentation, even if you're not hearing me. Hello, good night.
Yeah, Sheldon, good night, brother. How
Hi,
are you?
I'm quite fine. You go right ahead, caller.
Sheldon, just a clarification, query here. You're asking for one name in...
Not necessarily one. You could have.
Okay, let's say
you
culture.
could have a few.
You name a number of persons in culture, or sports, a number, or just one name from each particular category.
Give names. Once you have names and you believe there are people that, if you're putting together 50 names of 50 prominent Grenadians since 1974, once you believe those names belong in it, go ahead and give a reasoning.
Okay, then. Well, I have some names here, all right? Without much... I first like to... first name I have on my list, Sir Eric Matthew Gary, and that there's nothing we could say more than is obvious, all right?
Yeah.
Dr. Keith Mitchell, Jennifer Hostin Craig becoming the first Miss World, Black Miss World.
She would not qualify because we're speaking between 1974 and 2024. She was
1978. But
yeah,
okay, right.
70.
So we could drop out.
Yeah.
Mr. George Brizan, he's economist, educator, prime minister, historian, and his work still live on. I'd like to say Dr. Lamiel Stanislaus as permanent representative to the United Nations, served with distinction for many, many years throughout various administrations. Mr. Timothy Antoine, former public secretary and public servant here in Grenada, and now ECCB governor. Ms. Thelma Phillips, her role in culture and Grenada literary, because she wrote a couple of plays and books and so on. And I remember heard of her involvement, and the Island in the Sun came to be fame here in Grenada, being at the old Islander Hotel with her dance troupe and so on. Mr. Alistair Hughes in journalism, Mr. Leslie Pierre, coach journalist, Mr. Jerry Romain for media and radio and so on. Dr. Alistair McIntyre, who was economist and then went on to become at the University of the West Indies Chancellor. Kirani James, Alan Francis, well, I'd have to say what the category sports, of course. Mr. Victor Ashby in education. I remember Dr. Lawrence Gibbs for his selfless health in terms of being a medical doctor, but a people's doctor, so to speak, giving selflessly of his time and so to people. Mr. Caesar from Petit Martinique. I remember him being a fearless advocate for the rights of the people of Petit Martinique. We may not have always agreed on his politics, but he fearlessly fought for the people of Petit Martinique.
That's which name again?
I always remember him. I think he should be recognized.
That's which name again?
Sorry?
Which name you just mentioned again for Petit
Sorry,
Martinique?
Sheldon?
Which name did you just mention for Petit Martinique? Go ahead.
Mr. Caesar, I can't remember his first name.
Oh, okay.
But he was in politics and so around him, Mr. Blaze and so on. And all right. Black Wizard at Jamo. Honorable Jean Augustine. I mean, she was Grenadian, but as many Grenadians who migrated to Canada and became a member of parliament there and really never lost her roots. She contributed immensely to Grenada, even now returning home, doing a lot of things for Grenadians, having coming home many times and making contribution both home and abroad for Grenadians. Sister Gabrielle Mason, as she liked to say and describe herself as a humble girl from Munich, went on to was an educator, principal of St. Joseph Convent, St. George's for over 20 years. I went on to be the first Grenadian to be the provincial superior of the Congregation Joseph of Cluny, a worldwide religious organization, being the first Grenadian to hold that office. Miss Gloria Payne Banfield, public servant, politician and historian in her own rights. Miss Lauren Ramdani for her contribution to culture.
Okay, caller, let me just say.
Shirley Robinson.
Caller?
Lou Smith in media.
Let me see if this works. Caller, you hear me clearly now? Hello,
yes,
Claire?
Sheldon. Yes.
Just in case the names have been mentioned before, there's no need to mention them again.
Oh, because I tuned in late, so my apology.
Yeah,
apology.
I know you may have. That's why I'm just saying that.
Oh,
But go ahead.
Sorry.
But go ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, but go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Anthony George, the designer of the national flag and the coining of the words of our motto. Miss Ova Batiste, the national anthem, the words of it, and Mr. Basanto for the music. Paul Keynes Douglas, yes, Grenadian, living in Trinidad, but he has never negated his roots. And his brother Ricardo, also, I think of Mr. Sir Paul Schoon. Well, I think I don't see anybody mention him. Nadia Benjamin, first woman in politics when we became independent. Maple Ned. Miss Christine Clarkson, deceased for her role in culture.
Okay, you just bypassed Maple Ned without an explanation. Maple Ned, why?
Oh, well, she was also a politician around the time of the Nadia Benjamin, and so she was one of the two women in the Gary's cabinet and so on, to our government. Mr. Joe Pitt, I don't remember him in the days of we struggling to have our own television station and so on. He was one of them who really put television on in Grenada, starting from humble beginnings and so. Well, I heard Mr. Elsia Ferguson, so that goes. Mr. Chris DeRiggs and Francis Reyes Peters for the contribution to culture in terms of their playwriting skills and productions. And I have here Miss Thelma Campbell of the days of Mr. Gary in radio. She's deceased now, but I mean, she's really an icon in her own rights, and people would remember the era of Sarah Gary. She'd been one of the voices on radio, I mean, disseminating the information and so. So these are some of the names I could, by no means exhausted, but these are some of the names I came out. I have 40 of them here. So,
okay,
so
great.
That's my contribution, Sheldon.
Thank you so very much.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Yes, indeed. And I think I got the trick of what to do when the callers cannot hear me. Yeah, I got to pick up the line inside so that they can hear me. So I think I get a trick now, right? Because I kept getting the messages that they cannot hear what I'm saying from this end, which is why we're saying when you call, just go ahead with your presentation. You can just go ahead with your presentation. All right, so 440-7377 and 347-329-3101. Let me see if I can let me see if I can get this caller. Hello, good night.
Yeah, Sheldon, good night. What's happening?
Hey, I'm quite fine. You go right ahead. You're live.
Yeah, listen. I really want to make that contribution, right?
Go ahead.
There is this doctor, right? He from Sotes, Dr. John, right? And after I say what I have to say, then people should realize, okay, that maybe he is that kind of person that they should really emulate him more. This guy was a guy that studied in the Soviet Union, right? He was one of the chief surgeons in the hospital in town, right? Now, at one point in time during his tenure, there was a man an American man, he was living in Westerhall, right? The guy gets shot, through a robbery, right, in his intestine. That doctor was the one who operated on him. So after he operated on him and did, the clinical works, the Westerhall man went back up to the United States, right? Now, when he reached up here in the United States, the doctors were so amazed, right, that they thought that maybe it was a Russian or some other, English or some kind of doctor that really did the work, Then when they said it was Dr. John from Grenada, they did not know where Grenada was, right? So he made Grenada known. But what was more important was that, right, they offered this guy endless amount of money to really come and work in the system. The guy refused it, right? The guy refused and he said, okay, like he's a Grenada and he's going to stay in Grenada. And I think that guy demonstrated what you call soil and blood nationalism, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that he should be recognized some more. But look at it. That's a doctor that would have made his mark, and most likely some persons would have really forgotten him. Now, look what is happening today in the health system down in Grenada, right? I think that if the authorities get to know about this guy, look what is happening with the doctors that you would have really called their names, right?
Mm-hmm.
This guy is worthy of emulation. And I think, for instance, look at that, what they should do is that they should look at the contribution he make and look at the importance of doctors. And whatsoever impasse that would have been going on, now I think that maybe they should really settle it. Another person I really want to really recognize is this man, Soka Boka. This man was a very versatile man. He was a lawyer. He was a farmer. He was a Calypsonian, right? And he was a politician. At one time, he had a song.
Hello? Oh, he disconnected slightly there. Oh, dear. Let's see if we get that caller back. You was talking about the man who had Pochico Caleto Patch, man. That's Soka Boka. Yeah, he also sang Hole in the Road. Shall we take the high road? Shall we take the low road? Go right ahead, caller.
Hello?
Yes, you dropped off for a second there, yeah.
Yeah, I was talking about this
Soka Boka. Hello? Oh boy, yeah, it's I'm not sure what's happening, caller, but yeah, the call started dropping off there. But you give us a call back if it's anything. You can give us a call back. But we did hear you with your suggestions of Dr. John, who I've never heard of before, and you also mentioned Soka Boka. All right, and we have another caller online. Hello, good night.
Hey, good night, Mr. Scott.
Hi, good night. Yes,
I'm calling again from Carriacou.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to recognize the best boat builder in Carriacou, Grenada, Carriacou, and Pretty Matnik. His name is Mr. Alwyn.
Alwyn what?
That?
No, I didn't hear the name clearly. Give us the name again. Alwyn what?
Eno.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Okay.
All right, my dear.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, bye-bye.
So, Alwyn Eno. Carriacou people, all you had to tell me, eh? Yeah, all you had to tell me. Right? Mr. Alwyn Eno. And boat building out of Carriacou. All right? Nice. 440-7377. And for those of you who are in North America, you may be in Canada, You may be in New York or Brooklyn, or well, New York is Brooklyn. What I'm saying, you could be in Brooklyn or Florida, or you could be in wherever you are. Yeah, you can give us a call on 347-329-3101. It counts as a local call, so you can give us a call there. We have a call online. Good night.
Yes, good night.
Good night.
Yes, my contribution in religion.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, caller. We're hearing you. Go right ahead.
My contribution in religion, Mr. Vincent Darius from St. David's, the first bishop of Grenada.
Okay.
So I want to recognize Bishop Vincent Darius from St. David's.
Mm-hmm. All right. Great. Thank you very much, caller. Bishop Vincent Darius. Yeah, so Bishop Vincent Darius. Right. So we have that. That's the first time Bishop Vincent Darius. I'm seeing the name pop up in the, and folks, I'm sorry for those of you in the chat. I'm trying to follow. Let me see what I'm seeing here. Right. So those names I've seen already that I'm seeing popping back up in the chat there. Yes, I know of Telfa Bido, and I know of the work that he has done going around Grenada over the years and so on, mapping Grenada by foot. Yes, so Telfa Bido. And it can't be me. Some of you will know him not to be the ones that say it, because I may have the information wrong. And you know, we don't like to give, and we prefer not to give, and we hold a standard of not giving false information on this program. We want to make sure that the information we're putting forward is correct. Yes, so being a person who doesn't know Mr. Bido personally, I will ask one of those of you who do know him to give us a call in relation to that. I'm seeing Eddie Bullen. Yeah, Eddie Bullen as well, internationally renowned musician. All right, so I'm seeing one saying that one. I'm seeing a name here, Joe Cummings. Yeah, I think that name came up a bit earlier too. Somebody else mentioned that name, Joe Cummings. I think that came up earlier as well. All right, yes. So let's see which other names you all have to come up with. Yeah, let's see. Yeah. We have a call online. Hello, good night.
Yeah, hello, good night.
Good night, caller. Go right ahead.
So Royston, the late Sir Royston Hopkins, in hotel, and he gave us some scholarships and so for the needy and so children who couldn't make it. He is the one that you should look for.
Yes,
All
yes. Right? Thank you so very much, caller. All right. Yes, so Royston Hopkins, as a hotelier, philanthropist, yes, he did help quite a lot of young people to go to school and that sort of thing, gave a lot of opportunities for training for people in the hospitality sector, did provide a world-class service, not just to the people of Grenada, but internationally. The hotel is known internationally throughout Europe, North America, wherever. Yes, so Royston Hopkins, the name has been mentioned. All right, and folks, feel free to send your messages and say whether you agree or you disagree or so, you know. Yeah, because I'm listening to you all. This is about listening to you all. This is not about me. This is about those young people who are listening and go ask mommy and daddy, who was Mr. Royston Hopkins? Or who was Mr. Joe Cummings and so on. Yeah, we have a call online. Hello, good night.
Good night, Sheldon. I want to recognize Pastor Dave King for in the area of prayer and deliverances to the Grenadian people.
All right, great.
Okay.
Pastor Dave King.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. So Pastor Dave King, and let's go to the overseas line. Hello, good night.
Good night.
Hi, good night. Go right ahead, caller. You're live.
I'm calling from New York.
Yes, you can go right ahead. Go ahead.
I have a name to give to you, Miss Cicely Mason. She spearheaded all the shows in New York with the Miss Grenada USA, the young kids, and she is very instrumental in all those stuff. Every year she has a screen show showcasing Grenadian girls, the talents of the girls.
So Miss Cicely Mason is the name. All right, great. Thank you so very much, caller.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you. I am learning a lot of names tonight, and I am pretty sure that many of us are known because I did not know of Miss Cicely Mason and her contribution on the end of the diaspora and what she has been doing for young Grenadian girls and girls of Grenadian parentage out there. So now we know. All right? Yeah, come on, Ollie. Give me some more names. Give me some more names. We've got time. Give me some more names. All right? Someone is saying here, Dr. John, son of the soil, he trained in Cuba, not the Soviet Union, and came back to work in the hospital, and he did an operation on my neck, a boss doctor, so one of the people that he actually operated on. Yeah, they mentioned him there. All right, I'm seeing Evelyn Maitland. The name Evelyn Maitland has come up as well. All right, so folks, yeah, let me know. Let me know. There's a lot that I do not know that I'm learning tonight. And again, I'm saying the young people are listening and they are learning. Even if you want to expand at this time, if you want to expand on any of the names that have been mentioned, feel free to do so. If there's something that has not been said about that individual, or if there's a name that you believe needs to be added or discussed and emulated. Remember, many of the folks we are speaking about tonight have gone to the great beyond. They are no longer with us. And they will always be alive once we call their names, once we remember their contributions. Even if we may not think together, we may not think that that person or those persons belong in the top 50. But they are alive because we call their names. Remember their contributions. Yeah? So let us call their names and remember their contributions as Grenada moves towards its 50th anniversary of independence. Call their names. 440, let me clear the line. 440-7377. And for those of you in North America, whether you're in Maryland, my Maryland listeners, North or South Carolina, wherever you are, give us a call. Yeah, we've got a call online. Hello, good night.
Sheldon, Scott, good night, and good night to the Grenadian people
good
who's
night to
listening
you,
home and
Cammy.
abroad.
Good night.
I want to, Mr. Scott?
Go ahead, my dear. We're listening you. Go right ahead.
Dr. Winston Thomas. That's Dr. Winston Thomas from the Carriacou, deceased now. Big contribution to Grenada with the people, and people. I know that a lot of people will say yes tonight. But yes, Dr. Winston Thomas, that man is to send for me, come and pick me up and bring me in the hospital. Call in Ramboka, come and pick me up when I call. Dr. Winston Thomas, he was a loving, caring doctor, trained in Cuba. So sad he gone so early. Yeah, Dr. Winston Thomas.
Definitely. I agree.
Also, Mr. Peter David, make a lot of contribution to our Grenada. Can't leave him out. Miss Yolan Bain, Hospital in Grenville, feeding all the poor people in Grenville. Miss Yolan Bain, Hospital. Okay? Right. Who again? Miss Pamela Steele must give her a gold medal. Miss Pamela Steele. Dr. Mitchell. Dr. Mitchell, boy, I could never stop calling your name. Yeah. And somebody spoke earlier now about Mr. Alistair Hughes. That was a good journalist. I seen him now. Tall red man. Yeah. Good night, Grenada. I lie down. I lie down listening. Yeah. Miss Pamela Steele. She had to get a gold medal. Because she's still feeding us. Still feeding. Are you what that Deacon Michelle do? What that man? What I don't understand. That man bringing a man from Africa. And Dr. Michelle did so much. Miss Yolanda also. The one in Victoria, Dr. Morris. All these people make so much a contribution for this country. The man who recognize these are the people that build this country. You bring a man from Africa, I think 6 of them come in. Boy, if I see that man, they put him in the jail. Because what I will tell that man, a man talk about Ramboka and Sokaboka, Dr. Modest, is there. Miss, the one is said, Winston White, all these people in this country that deal with it, you know. And you have a good night. They have free party in the park tonight. The park, the same Queen's Park that Dr. Michelle Tim and them built. And they go young Grenada, they say I don't take no part in nothing them. I don't care what all you say there, what comment you make, I am not taking part. Because if they say we want people, that is slogan, we want people. You say no, half of Grenada, Dr. Michelle. You say we want people, we not want people. You know why we don't want people? You send home people, you victimize workers. So I don't understand how we can want people. Forget that. Have a good night.
All right, Cabby. You have a good one too. 44073777. That's the number. Let me make sure. Yeah, it's clear. 44073777. That's the number for you to call and get onto the inside of tonight's program. Yeah, I think I missed a call. Let me see if I could get back this person that tried to reach us. Hello, good night.
Good night.
Yes, you had been trying to reach us. Yes, sir. Go right ahead.
Yes. I would like to recognize two persons in particular.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just joined in a while ago. I don't know if they had been mentioned already.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to recognize Mr. John Benjamin, renowned painter and artist from Grenville, who have won prestigious awards in London and all over the world for his painting and his artistic work. A lot of people might have heard of Mr. John Benjamin. And I would also like to recognize Mr. Creswell Julian in the education department. If you talk to a lot of people from the St. Andrews area, you hear about Mr. Creswell Julian, principal of SAS.
Mm-hmm.
And he has shaped a lot of us. He had shaped a lot of us to be successful people today. This is two people I would like to recognize.
All right. Thank you very much, caller. Yes, indeed. And let's go to the... Oops, we lost that one. Yeah, 44073777. That's 440. 44073777. That's the number for you to call and get on to the inside of... of tonight's program. All right. Yeah, let me see. Somebody's saying that's pre-1974. Let's see what comes out of that. Now this is interesting. Oh boy, yeah, some of the information I'm getting tonight is very, very interesting. All right, 440-7377. That's 440-7377. That's the number for you to call and get on to the inside. All I seen is messages, I don't go in away. I don't go in away. I don't go in away. I don't go. Oh boy, yes. And I also remember Mr. Alistair Hughes. I didn't know him for very long, but I did know him in, passing. And so I knew, and I was reading some of his work. Only last month I was reading some of his work. Yeah, because you could still access a lot of his stuff online. Actually, it's online, and I was accessing some of the stuff that he wrote. Even his reports from leading up to the revolution, his reporting from during the period of the revolution, the implosion of the revolution, and immediately after, and so on, and some other key events in Grenadian history during his lifetime. Even the advent of Sir Eric Matthew Gary, and the articles that he wrote back in that time. So I have been reading some of his stuff, and so folks, yeah, give us a call. Let us know who are some of the people that making it in your top 50 if you're speaking of Grenadians who have made a significant contribution, not just that there was popular, it's a lot of people that popular, but who have made or continue to make, they can still be continuing to make their contribution, who have made or continue to make contributions to Grenada that will carry on. Yeah? That they have not just play football, but they coach football, they teach football also, they put Grenada on the map in a sport, or by coaching others who have brought glory to Grenada through sports or so on. Or it could be in the field of culture. We've had many names mentioned. We have Shirley Robinson. We've had, let me see some of the names. We've had Shirley Robinson, Paul Keynes Douglas, Ricardo Keynes Douglas, and so on. Chris DeRiggs, Francis Urias Peters. We've had Canute Caliste. And I would always say Canute Caliste, definitely. I ain't even arguing with nobody. Canute Caliste will make my top 50 definitely. Personally, me personally, he would definitely make it into my top 50. His artwork is sought after. His interaction in relation to culture and so on. Yeah, I think definitely. We've got a call online. Hello, good night.
Sheldon.
Yes, hi, good night, sir.
Good night.
Go right ahead, you're live.
You know, two persons, I joined the program late, but I forgot the time. But I think you have Mr. Gregory Bowen and Miss Hood. I know they made sufficient, a lot of contribution, as a matter of fact, to Grenada, besides as politicians. So I'd like to recommend them.
Of course.
I'm not finished, you know.
No, go ahead.
And the last point, the last one, I want to mention the Prime Minister, the present Prime Minister, for mashing up the country. That's all.
All right, my brother. The present Prime Minister can't even make my top 500. That's me personally. Maybe it might make yours, but he can't make my top 500. We've got a call on the line. Hello, good night.
Good night, Mr. Scott. How you doing?
Hey, I'm quite fine, brother. You go right ahead. You're like.
Long time I don't hear your voice, man.
Yeah, but I did, man. I did.
Well, I just come into the program there and I'm hearing about many contributions. Dr. Modis already called. Dr. Mitchell already called.
Yeah, they call them, yeah.
Right. Well, I just want to big up some footballers in Guelph. Man like C.J. Williams, Man P. These men make tremendous contribution in Guelph. I can remember a couple of years when football was really rampant in Guelph, that these men was true sportsmen. They were taking the football serious. Even CJ, they had to take him from Grenada to go to Trinidad to win a match. Manpe, CJ, Gang, all these men make wonderful contribution. What about Steve McCarty too as well? But many of these men make wonderful contribution. I don't know if they will be part of your list, but they have made tremendous contribution.
Would you say that they've made
and there are many more footballers. Even like Pecos Jalos, this man is to kick on and score. And when you see football playing at the park in Guelph, Club Peter's Park, the park is so full. There was many people to be all in the cemetery watching football. I could tell you that because a young boy. Many people all in the cemetery in Douglaston on the other side, on top the hill, on top over the pavilion, the new building they build there. Many people sit on top there and watch people soup because sometimes they used to take a little money. And when they used to take a little money, people used to say, you know what, I can't pay, but I will go the hill and watch. All on in the tennis court, you are real people watching football. I tell you, if we had stand up and make up our mind to stay in the game and to play the game and to discipline, we are one of the best football team in the world. Because Grenada had make wonderful contribution these footballers. This is what I've got to say.
All right. Thank you so very much, caller. Yes, indeed. So C.J. Williams and what Manpe, I think is the name. Yeah, that's two of the names that I mentioned. And again, while the contribution may have been localized, and yes, you need to call the names and note them, because the young people in Guelph who do not know who these people are, they will now be asking their parents or their grandparents or so on, who are these people? Yeah? So you need to note the names, and so it does not necessarily mean that if you're doing a list of 50 Grenadians who have contributed the most between independence and now, that they may make the list, but that their name is mentioned when we are celebrating our 50th anniversary of independence should mean a lot to their family, and if they are alive, to them, that people remember them and the contributions that they have made. Some of us may not see it. Some of us may not agree, may hear a name called and we don't agree. Well, that person, you're inputting that person and so on. But their name has been called. They've made a contribution. We have a caller. Hello, good night.
Hello, good night, Sheldon.
Yes, go right ahead, caller.
Remember that name, Mr. James Andrews of Cali, St. George. He's not with us, but his name should go down in history because he was a twice-time principal. He used to be Cali's government school and Palm.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was the supervisor of the election.
Okay. All right. So James Andrews. Thank you so very much, caller.
You're welcome.
All right. Yes, indeed. 440-7377. That's 440-7377. That's the number for you. And yes, somebody else is saying CJ Williams, good footballer. I'm seeing the name Miss Betty Maskell. Folks, you all will have to tell me, who is Miss Betty Maskell? What did she do? Was it after independence? I don't know. You all have to tell me. I'm seeing Coach Richie Hughes. Yes, I know Coach Hughes and the wonderful work he has done over the years with young folks in tennis and in sports as well in general. Coach Hughes for lawn tennis. Neil Ferguson, songwriter, for some of the songs that he has written. 90% of the calypsos that sung calypso, he wrote 90% of the songs that singing today, calypso. So Neil Ferguson, I'm seeing that name mentioned here as well. And let me see. No, let me see. I'm looking for a name. Someone is saying that the bishop is not, that Bishop Vincent Darius, they're saying he's not from St. David, but he's from St. Andrew. So someone, yeah, you all will have to confirm for me where the bishop really is, if he's from St. David or if he's from St. Andrew. Yes, so I'm just checking some of the messages that have been coming in. I'm seeing Dr. Noel. Which Dr. Noel? Yeah, which Dr. Noel are we referring to? What was the person's area? What did they specialize in? The doctor that was in charge of maternity ward at the General Hospital, can't remember his name. Tall, blue eyes. Yeah, so give me, yeah, you all have to tell me. It's not just we calling the name, but we have to make sure that people know, and that the people who listen to this program, either who are listening now or who will go and listen over the next few days and weeks and months and even years, that when folks come back to this program, they're able to say, well, yes, that person, I learned about that person from this caller or so on, that person did A, B, C, or D. Yeah, so we need to explain why we call some names, why these people and not others. We have a caller online. Good night. Hello.
Good night.
Hi, good night, caller. You
Hello,
go right ahead.
Sheldon.
Yes.
Yeah. I want to recognize Mr. James Clarkson.
James Clarkson.
For PAN.
Pardon me for, yeah.
And he was also the Commissioner of Police of Grenada one time.
Well,
the former Commissioner of Police.
More than once, we. More than once.
And for his contribution in PAN. He's a ranger, you know? Yeah, so that is my contribution. That's James Clarkson.
Okay, great. Thank you so very much, my brother. So the name James Clarkson, and specifically now, so folks who are listening now know, contribution in steel pan, but also contribution in national security as well. As a former commissioner of police, I believe he spent 2 terms, 2 different times. He was commissioner of police at 2 different times, if I remember correctly. Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but if I'm remembering right, he was commissioner of police on more than one occasion. All right. And we go back to the phone lines. Hello, good night.
Yes, Sheldon.
Yes, ma'am.
Depot in too. Depot in America, they know.
Depot.
Before Clarkson become brain fan, Depot. I go recognize Depot in. Right, Depot. Yes, and you deceased brother Perry Angel Hearts.
Yeah.
Yes, and also to Mr. Martin and Mr. James. These are ex-commissioner police. They make a lot of sacrifice for Grenada. Mr. Jameson Mongrambi,
Yes.
salute to you tonight, sir. And Mr. Martin, Ivan Martin, you wanna be in some other place now. Okay?
Yeah. Okay, my love.
These are the people who make sacrifice for Grenada. I don't stay long. Good night. I want all you to know that. Yeah. Mr.
All right, my love.
Martin.
Yes,
And
both
look
of
how
them.
the police getting now. Look how the police are getting now. You train these people. They're training for 3 months. In Mr. Martin and them time was 6 months.
Yeah.
6 months they start to train. Now they're going and train for 2 months. Mr. Deacon Michelle, you have to go. You have to go, sir. You must come down at White House. That White House riding there, you have to come down from it. God is good.
All right, Gabby, thank you so very much. All right, my dear. 4407377, that's the number to call and get onto the inside. Folks, you can also call us on WhatsApp. So if you're outside of Grenada and you want to contribute, you can also call us on the WhatsApp. The WhatsApp number is 1473, of course, 4407377. And just put a plus sign in front of the one. If you find you're not getting through, put a plus sign in front of the one. I'm seeing Clarkson was also the youngest Grandmaster of the Royal Grenada Police Force Band. I'm seeing a suggestion here of the name of Mr. Dennis Noel in the area of business, as I used to call him Uncle Dennis. Yeah, Dennis Noel in the field of nutmeg. That's the gentleman who developed nutmeg spray, and he was developing some other things too over the years and so, and he had juices, and so when you go by him, you used to have all kind of things. You used to have like these dried lemongrass and all different things that he used to package, and so a lot of people don't know about some of the stuff that he did, but he used to have a lot of different fruits and so that he packaged and sold both inside and outside of Grenada, outside of nutmeg. So the name Dennis Noel is also being mentioned as one of the people who has is deserving of being on the first 50. Again, it is not just me. You all have to send your messages. You could send your WhatsApp messages or so on, or you could send your messages on the live itself in the chat section and let us know if you agree or if you disagree in relation to some of the names being mentioned. Some people agree, some people disagree. I ain't vexed with nobody. There is never a way I would be vexed with anybody in relation to this. Nope. I ain't vexed. Call names. Yeah? Call names. Let me see. A well-known bus and transport owner from Roseville in St. Patrick known as Muffman. His fleet of buses were called Study Your Head. And if you're speaking about buses, what about in business, King Elvis? Yeah? What about King Elvis as a businessman who has the buses that take the vast majority of the tourists and so all different parts of Grenada, bring them to all the different sites of Grenada and so on, provides employment to the people, and so all of these people, yeah, King Elvis in my mind. Someone has just sent Eugenie Mason. Let me know about Eugenie Mason. I may not know, so you have to call and tell me. You don't just send it. Call and tell me. Yeah, call and tell me exactly about Eugenie Mason, and so let me know. All right, yeah, call and tell me. I'm not sure. So you have to call and explain to me why a person is deserving of being in the top 50. Because if you're putting the top 50, a lot of the names that have been called tonight may not end up in a top 50. They may end up in a top 100. They may end up in a top 200. But they may not end up in a top 50. But if you're looking at contribution-wise, longevity of the contribution that they have made, the worth of the contribution that they have made, who do you really believe belongs in a top 50 most prominent Grenadians between the year Independence Day, 7th of February 1974, and now? Now, there are people that have been mentioned that I believe, yes, you would consider them because they have made their contribution. While it may have started before independence, it continued after the independence period. Yeah? So there are people that you may not. And we have a call online. Hello, good night.
Hi, Sheldon.
Hi. Yeah, you go right ahead.
Yes. The reason why I said you're getting Mason, she was one of the best because with the rain, thunder, lightning, hurricane, she used to always go where the news to make the news.
Oh, Miss. Okay, I understand what you're talking about now.
Yes. Whether the storm, she never be afraid to go there.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes. All right. Thank you. That's how I think herself, Bernadette Connell, Sean, I'm trying to remember Sean's surname, got trapped somewhere up in Grenada during Ivan. They got trapped inside a house up there with everything mashing up around them. The GBN news team at the point in time. Yeah, that was action. They go up there and they get trapped in the middle of the Lord. Hurricane and these people trapped up there, you know. Yeah, 440-7377. That's 440-7377. Let me see if I could patch this call in. Yeah, you know, sometimes when they call us on the WhatsApp and we miss your call, we call back. Hello, good night. Hello.
Yeah, hi, yeah, hi.
Yes, go right ahead.
They had a principal of St. George's Anglican School in Church Street. His name, I don't know his first name, but his name, they used to call him Mr. Heinze.
Oh, Heinze. Was that before or after independence?
Jesus. I think all during independence.
Okay.
I think all during independence. But he was a principal. And I think he had a lot to do with a lot of us with our education.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people in St. George's that would recommend, that will remember him, you know, by calling his name.
Mm-hmm.
But he was one of the best principals, teachers, as they say, of his time, that time in Grenada.
Mm-hmm. All right.
You know, so
thank you so very much, my dear. So Heinze, we'll find out we'll get the proper name, but you always hear about Heinze School and so on, yeah.
Yeah, he's from Montmorris.
Okay.
He was from Mong. He was from Montmorris. But a lot of people in town would remember him, Heinze. Lots of people.
All right.
You know,
thank you so very much, my dear.
All right. Have a blessed night and all the best.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Take care.
Yes, indeed. And let me see. So yes, we oh boy, let me make sure it's clear. Yes, because the phone line kind of hot. So I was just making sure. Which is the name I'm seeing here? Right. So Naka Joseph was mentioned before. And who else am I seeing here? Kim Robinson, Hakim Simon, and Lafayette. And let me see, Steve Mark from the Villa St. Mark. And okay. Yeah, so I'm seeing some names coming in there in relation to sports. And different, and again, like the way I'm looking at it now, it seems as though we may have to develop outside of a top 50, we may have to develop a top 50 in different areas, because I'm pretty sure that with some of the names we have here already, we could develop a top 50 in sports, a top 50 in culture, a top 50 in politics, a top 50 in advocacy, trade unionism, etc., and so on, that we could develop these lists and so on. Someone just messaged me again in relation to King Elvis. They're saying, yes, definitely King Elvis, for the contribution that he has made and continues to make in relation to the tourism industry here in Grenada, the transportation industry, because King Elvis is basically like our public transportation system. When you look at getting staff to and from many of the hotels and various facilities here in Grenada. King Elvis. Yeah? So someone is saying, but definitely King Elvis. Right? Okay. Yeah. Lovely. And Coach German McKee. What's German proper first name? Oh gosh, well, I could forget Coach McKee proper name. Yeah, so I custom calling him German or Nazi. Yeah. You know, some people call him Nazi, some people say German or Coach McKee. And for some reason I can't remember Coach McKee first name. Yeah? So Coach McKee, if you're talking about basketball and so on, he used to basically run the Carriacou basketball court. Nigel McKee, that's the name, Nigel McKee. Right, yes, Coach Nigel McKee. All right, I've seen the name Nigel DeGale in education, and his brother Michael DeGale. Yeah, Michael DeGale in relation to what? Yes, in relation to culture, yes. Tumda. I myself was a member of Tumda, drumming and so on. So, yeah, outside of Nigel McKee, you have Nigel DeGale, and you also have, and strange enough, the two Nigels come together, and Michael DeGale, right? And, oh, yeah, that's an interesting one. Wayne Waggy T Redhead. Yeah? So the name Wayne Waggy T Redhead. We call and say why Wayne Waggy T Redhead now? Tell me why Wayne Waggy T Redhead. Call and tell me. We have a caller online. Hello, good night.
Yeah, good night.
Hi, good night, caller. Go right ahead.
You're looking for the disabled here, Mistress Hillary Gabriel?
Miss Hillary Gabriel.
Yes.
Okay, yes. Mm-hmm.
You're looking for the disabled?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, great. Any others? That's it?
No, nothing else.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. All right. Yes, indeed. And let's get this one. Let's see if we could pull this one on the... Yes, I think I have it here. Hello, good night.
All right, good night, Mr. Sheldon.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
I'm quite fine. You go right ahead. You're live.
Two persons I want to recognize. Number one, my name is Pastor Dennis Celestine. I'm here in Canada.
Lovely.
But I want to recognize two persons. Mr. Pastor John Monroe, who is responsible for my spiritual bringing up, and especially in regards to the Word of God.
Mm-hmm.
John Monroe, I think he lives in Florida right now. But that man took us as young men, trained us, and put us to a position where we were able to make an impact in St. David's, Malmont Berean Bible Church, and so forth. And I love that man. He did a great job. The second person is Pastor Casimir Thomas. He's a man who grew up under my ministry also. But the great music, the music sessions he's having with the children over the years, training them, disciplining them. I think these are some people in the religious realm that must be looked at, not only in the cultural side of it, but I believe they ought to be looked at this point. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, Pastor.
I listen to you all guys all the time.
Thank you so very much, Pastor. All right,
take
love
care.
it. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Yes, so Pastor John Monroe, and we also have Pastor Casimir Thomas, and he has the Wester Hall Music School, and he has been training quite a number of young people in relation to using wind instruments, stringed instruments, and so he's been doing, and not just over the last couple of weeks or months or so, years. He's been involved in that, and also the spiritual development of many people of various ages. Pastor Casimir Thomas, yeah, still giving his contribution. We've got a call online. Hello, good night.
Hi, Sheldon.
Hi.
Yes. Wayne Waggy Redhead, he's a very nice person. He always gives back to the community, and especially in the field of sports with the football and everything like that. So I think he deserved to be on that list.
Okay, my dear. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
So let me tell you about what I think I may know about Wayne Waggy Redhead. One of the things I know about Wayne Wagiti Redhead is that he was a champion when it comes to table tennis, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, Wayne Wagiti Redhead with table tennis and so. A show promoter, promoting shows and so. But something that I think many people know, it's an open secret, that Wayne Wagiti Redhead has helped a lot of people when they found themselves like your house burned down and so, that he has stepped in and helped a lot of people in those situations and so. So it's not just the shows and so, but the contribution that he has made outside of that is philanthropy in helping a lot of people, and not just in one area, but all over Grenada and so on. Yeah? So some people do agree, some people would agree. Nice, good. 440-7377. That is the number for you to call and get on to the inside. And I think we have another caller here. Hello, good night.
Good night, Sheldon.
Hi, good night.
I'm joining you late. I have a few people I like to recognize. I don't know, in culture, did anybody mention Francis Redhead from Belmont in culture?
No.
The carnival? Yes, I think he did some part in our early years, presenting a lot of good bands. Okay, and Mr. Paul Roberts, I did not hear nobody call him
he was mentioned very early. Because we've been on for oh my dear, it's 10 o'clock now and we've been on since 7.
Yes, I just joining you.
Yeah.
And what's about our very own Andrew Donald, because he has been providing a great service to Grenada. I don't know if we have to wait till he gone away before we mention it with the radio station providing so much information to us.
Yes.
And our very own Kami helping the school children. People may look down on her, but I think she's doing a contribution to our country in helping guide those school children. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, caller. Yes, indeed. All right, folks. I may have to wrap it. Yeah, it's 10 o'clock, so it is time for me to start shuffling out of here. Yeah, it's time for me to start shuffling out of here. Look, in fact, here, look, the transport start to ask. Yeah, it's time for me to shut it down. All right. Oh boy, and somebody just sent in Mellow Peters in relation to sports and for the disabled, not just sports alone, but the disabled and so on. Yeah, well, folks, I may have to wrap it around now. There are a lot of names that I expected to hear that I didn't hear, But we're going to talk about those on another day, folks. I have got to head on out of here. Very sorry, but we've been here since 7 p.m. We started exactly at 7. So we've been here since 7 p.m. And we had to start at 7 p.m. And I told you it's going to take a lot. So I started at 7, 3 hours. And man, you only want to see the amount of names that we have down here and others that have been online and everything. All right. So that's all the time we have for tonight. And in everything you say and do it safe and secure. I want to be speaking to and with you, and definitely not about you. Love each and every one of you. I am heading out of here right now. So have a safe weekend. And folks, we look forward to be speaking with you on Monday night when we return with Talking Points. Love all of you.
people, one journey, one future.